Um, One of the most important decisions that a man would ever need to make in his life is that. All right, thank you so much, the admin and everyone who's working in the background. Okay, so good evening, everyone. I'm so delighted, excited to be doing this today. Wow, I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined the meeting. One of the most important decisions that a man would ever need to make in. I want to say thank you to everyone who's joined on YouTube and right here on Zoom for being a part of this. I believe it's because you feel like you're going to be able to learn so much. That's the reason you're joining tonight. And thank you. I'm delighted to also have my pastor in the house. So we met in University of Ibadan. When I walked into that fellowship, would I say I walked into that fellowship? I believe the Lord led me to Vessels of Honor Foundation, University of Ibadan, and that's where I started having that encounter that is still lasting me till now, and even after now, by the grace of God. And here was Pastor Dele Oshumakinde way back then. He pastored me. I'm grateful for all of those beautiful things and word especially that shaped my life, till now. I'm also grateful to God for his beautiful wife, who happens to be my best friend, Maureen Olausumakinde. So thank you, Maureen, for releasing Pastor Dele to me tonight. Pastor Dele is not just the founder of Voices of Honor Foundation, he's also the founder and the pastor in charge of the Baptizing Church in Nigeria, in Abuja, in Lagos, in Ibadan. And then currently is in Leicester, where he's also pastoring in the Envoy Nation. I'm grateful to the Lord for what he's doing there. Some marvelous things happening in that city. And right now, I'd just like to welcome Pastor Dele Oshumakinde right now into our midst. Thank you so much, Pastor.
Thank you very much. It's great to be here.
Yeah, so I'd like for you to please just introduce yourself beyond what I've just said right now, what you do in the UK and why you are in the UK.
Well, thank you very much for having me. I truly appreciate being here, and good evening, everyone. My name is Dele Oshumakinde, and just like Pastor Tolu said, I'm presently in the United Kingdom. I live in Leicester. Leicester is in the Midlands. That's like the middle of the country. So it's called Midland. So you have the Eastern Midland and you have the Western Midland. So Western Midland is Birmingham and Eastern Midland is Leicester, Coventry, and the rest of them, Warwick, and so on and so forth. So it's nice being here. So presently, what brought me to the UK, apart from the fact that God led me to come, the official reason for coming to the United Kingdom was to come to study for my doctorate. So I've always wanted to have a doctoral training. And sorry, did I say doctorate? I wanted to say doctoral. That's PhD. So it's somehow, for almost 10, 15 years now, I've always known that at some point I would have to do my PhD. I've always known. Because if you listen to my teachings, you realize that they're equally spiritual as much as they are academic. And I've over the years created all these wonderful academic frameworks, around the teachings. And, and that is how I think, that is how I process spiritual things. So, I go everywhere and people ask me, before I even did my master's, you hear people asking me that, do you have a PhD? And I'm like, do I sound that academic? And so at some point, it started stirring my heart that there was need to do that and I should not waste his investment, as far as intellectualism is concerned. And, so I knew. But again, the challenge was that how do I leave all that I was doing in Nigeria, to just relocate to the UK and to just leave everything behind. I mean, it was tough. But see, at some point, I think 2 years ago, the Lord just said it was time. And of course, I brought the whole family together. We had a family meeting and I shared the vision and we started working at it, working towards it. And God has been so good. God opened the doors and here we are today, we're in, fully in the UK, the whole family. And I'm doing my PhD program. At the same time, I'm also lecturing in the university. I'm also a lecturer teaching management, enterprise, and innovation. And of course, I'm also volunteering at a charity that's called the Envoy Nation, where I team up with my wife and other leaders to also pastor there. So that's basically the story. Thank you very much.
Yeah, that's awesome. Thank you so much for sharing, Pastor Dilly. So I wanted to mention to those of us who are here tonight that Relocating Right will, by the grace of God, help you, first of all, with your decision, you know, in making the choice of where to live when you would like to relocate to, because I know right now that it's not just the UK. Many countries have opened up, you know, to Nigerians, and you want to take advantage of it. But it's not just about the migration, but first of all, about the information that you need to have even before you go, meaning the plan, because I realize that a lot of people don't have plans. So this will serve as an opportunity for you to actually make a proper plan, you know, before you travel. And then, of course, we'll also talk about migration itself, and then we'll then talk about integration. So that's why we have Pastor Dilly here tonight. So Pastor Dilly, let me ask you, so how important is planning? Is it just about saying, oh, UK is opened up now, let's go, let's pack our bags and go?
No. Thank you, Pastor Tolu. Planning is everything. And sincerely, over the years, I've facilitated, directly or indirectly, the coming of or influence or being part of, at least so far so good, now over 600 Nigerian students who came to study in the UK. And that is even a conservative number, at least off the cuff, I can, because we have a WhatsApp platform, so over 600. And of course, a Telegram platform too. And one of the things I've realized looking at the data is that a lot of people just wanted to get out of Nigeria. They did not plan for their coming to the UK. And of course, the assumption is always like UK is like Nigeria. and when people now come in, they now find out that they were ill prepared. I mean, for, you know, a client that is totally different from Nigeria, because coming to the UK, you have to firstly realize that everything here is totally different. And one of the reasons why a lot of people don't really prepare adequately before they come is because they don't have the right information, and they don't also belong to the right social network. So the enablers of preparations, I mean, they are not known to so many people. So for many people, it's a mindset that they call Japa, you know, just want to leave Nigeria. I mean, and just want to come and study in the UK and to just use that as a foxtrot to get in, stay here. But it doesn't work that way. The country is already structured in a way not to allow that to happen. And that is why you see so many people coming to do their masters here. And at the end of the day, they still have to go back to Nigeria after getting the degree, because getting a degree here is not really what will make you to stay here. So of course, they will allow you to come to get your degree. I mean, everybody's interested in you coming. Of course, the universities have to make money, and there's of course a minimum amount every university will also have to make for them to stay viable in the UK. So of course, they are more
it's
than
not like, sorry, Pastor Dilly, it's not like they're really being nice to us. They have their own.
They have their own targets to meet too. They have their own quota. Like for example, now there's a license UK government gives to every university every year to bring in international students. And with that license, there's a minimum number you have to bring in for you to renew that license. And if you don't bring in that minimum number, they're going to take that license away from you. So in order to lose that license, the universities are, so because they won't just give you that license and you just have it. If you don't meet, like for example, if your quota is 1,000 now, and they expect you to bring in 1,000 students, and you don't bring in 1,000, next year, they won't renew that license for you. So, and that's why you see all these universities looking for students everywhere. So you are not really doing them any good coming here. You are also helping them to also meet their own obligations. So that government also will not cancel their, license, especially if you bring international students. So you have to prepare to answer that question. I'm sure you're still going to ask other questions.
Yes, I will. Thank you.
But it is, if you know you are coming, this is why I like this kind of interview session, because we're going to shed light on the kind of preparations you need to, get into ever before you even begin to apply.
Yes, sir. That's very, very important. Thank you so much, Pastor Daly. So I want to start with this decision-making thing, the planning part. We'll just move like that. And I want to just mention to us, please, if you have your questions, kindly prepare to send them in, but through the YouTube channel. So if you have a question, please send it in through the YouTube channel. We'll take them after now. So why should an individual or family make UK their choice of a country to live in, Pastor Daly? Should it just be about the study visa that's currently being made accessible right now, or there should be more?
Well, let me first of all speak to those who are of the household of faith. The Bible says, let us do good unto all men, especially those who are of the household of faith. So I'm going to speak to those who belong to my constituency. Make sure you are led. Don't allow the fact that there are challenges in Nigeria to get you out of Nigeria. That is a wrong thing to do. So if you are born again, spirit-filled, and you're a covenant person, you can thrive anywhere. So let it not be that the reason why you just want to live where you are now, especially speaking about Nigeria, is because you do not see any other way to survive there. You just want to get out. That is not our story. That is not consistent with our narrative as people on the faith lane. So you don't just get into a land that you like, just like God told Abraham, it must be a land that God is showing you. And that is why it's called England. So if it's not the land that God is showing you, I will advise you not to even venture. Stay, just like Isaac, stay in Nigeria. God will prosper you there, if that is the will of God for you. But again, if you're sensing it that God is leading you to the United Kingdom, or we're also saying this publicly for those who don't have our kind of faith orientation, we don't also want to exclude you. Let's even say you have used whatever parameter, your permutations, your combinations, and at the end of the day, you feel UK is the right place for you. What I'll just say about United Kingdom is that it's about sincerely, I've traveled extensively all over the world. I've been everywhere, and I've lived everywhere, at least extensively. I've been to the United States. I can't even count how many times now. Been to Canada, and of course, extensively been and out of the UK before coming eventually to live in the UK. There's just something about the United Kingdom that stands UK out. Number one, especially for those who studied in Nigeria, the educational system is very similar in the sense that if you are a graduate of any Nigerian university, integrating into the UK system should not be a problem for you because, of course, don't forget they colonized us. So even our educational system is somehow patterned after theirs. Of course, the method of delivery, what we call pedagogy, is a little different. It's pedagogically different from what we do in Nigeria, but technically, at least if you get a first degree in Nigeria, you won't have. Then, of course, United Kingdom is also a multicultural society. There's hardly any city you are in the United Kingdom that you will only be seeing British. You see British, you see Asians, you see other minorities, Somalians, you see a lot of Asians. And of course, you see a lot of Nigerians. Like, for example, now, in my university, at least 40 people in my faculty, 40 lecturers in my faculty are Nigerians. At least 40. I know there could be more. That is even my faculty alone. But by the time you now look at the whole university, you are going to see Nigerians everywhere. You have a lot of colleagues. And what that does is that it allows you to settle in very fast because you just find your own. So you are still among, people of your, ethnic consideration, because that gives a lot of stability emotionally and also socially. Then, of course, United Kingdom, because again, it is also a very lovely society where there are opportunities, especially for students. I mean, people come in here and in 2 weeks, 3 weeks, they're already working. It allows you to work and to study at the same time. And of course, it's also very good in the sense that it's not too far from Nigeria. I mean, 6 hours overnight flights, you just close your eyes, you're in Nigeria. So if you are here and you want to go and do something in Nigeria, you could quickly get to Nigeria. Or you can make that journey within 24 hours, quickly get to Nigeria, do what you need to do, fly in with a night flight, do what you need to do all day. And by the evening, you are back again here. The following morning, you are in class, You see what I mean? So, and of course, the fact that there's also now post-study visa scheme, whereby if you come to study here, at least if you're able to get a job there after 2 years, post-study visa is guaranteed, and so on and so forth. So those will be some of the reasons why UK is a choice destination. And of course, the universities here, they are ever so supportive, ever so, understanding, and they just want to have the educational system here is very student-centric. So they want, it's not like Nigeria where a lecturer can just come in and call the shots, fail anybody, the way you like and get away with it. You won't get away with that here. Because if students are failing your course, the faculty wants to understand why. That means you're a bad lecturer. Because why? Because the system is set up to make you to pass. Yes. Or like in some countries, the system is set up to make you to fail. So it's so different. And that is for those who are exploring the academic side of things. But for those who are also exploring the work side of things, you also see that even in the medical field there, and that is one area that is really bringing a lot of doctors from Nigeria and nurses. You realize that if Nigerians in the UK should resign in the educational and the health sector, I think the education and the health sector in the UK will collapse, because you can imagine how many Nigerian doctors are here, how many Nigerian nurses are here. And of course, another profession that is really, really in high demand and they are looking for people all over the world is any digital role. So from data hub, data analyst to scrum master, product owner, to any of those things, anything that has to do with the digital business ecosystem, those are the things also that most British people don't even have the working knowledge, so they have to rely on Asians and Africans. And some Asians are pouring in, especially people from India, Bangladesh, Pakistan, and some of those people, because they understand the job requirement that is needed in the UK, and they get trained, and before you know it, they have to sponsor them to come. So those are the two critical routes. For those who want to come and study, the opportunities are here. And for those who want to come and work too, well, like I said also, it is now left for you to know what exactly you need to do, depending on whether you are coming via the student route or you want to come via the work route.
Thank you so much. We're going to get there. Well, I wanted to just quickly stay with this planning first, and then by the time we get migration, I'll talk about that. So I wanted to ask that. Okay, so you said something about the career path being important in making that UK choice. You talked about data analysis. You talked about the healthcare. So how does a person? So for instance, a banker, a lawyer. How does someone find out if there are job opportunities or if they have a space there, if you know what I mean?
Okay, thank you very much. Let me also say something about UK, and this will shock everybody. You don't get a job in the UK because you have a degree. They don't, let me say it in our Nigerian way of saying things, they don't send you. This country, that's why I say it's a different country. People think, once I come here and I have a degree, I have a master's degree, automatically I'm going to get a job. UK is not set up that way. If you look at an average UK university, I can tell you this first class, being an academic in the UK, an average class, like if I go to class now to lecture, I teach management, I teach enterprise, and I teach innovation. So I enter an average class. You won't see British students there. Maybe a class of like 50 students, you will see 5 or 6 British students. You will see maybe 15 Africans and 15 Indians. The system in the UK is not to I mean, you don't get things done in this country by the reason of degrees. As a matter of fact, you can ask people who work here, who have been working there for like 20 years, 15 years. In all their job interviews, they don't ask them for their university degrees. That's another root shock when it comes to the UK. What do they value in this country? Two things: work experience and certifications.
Wow.
Certifications are more important in the UK than degrees. The only time degrees are very important in the UK is if you are seeking an academic role. Like, for example, if you want to become a university lecturer, of course, I mean, expect you to have a master's and possibly a PhD. Even in that, it will shock you, Pastor Tolu, that most of the associate professors there who are British, they don't have a PhD.
Wow.
Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you cannot even become a senior lecturer without having a PhD.
I know.
So the way UK works is that they will always create an alternative route for their own people. They won't allow foreigners to come and take over the system. So in the university now here, what they do is that they call a route teaching route. They call another route research and scholarship routes. So most Africans who come here to do their PhD, once you become a lecturer, they put you on the research route. So you have to rise to becoming a PhD holder, and eventually you become an associate professor and become a professor. But an average British professor doesn't have a PhD. In fact, many of them don't even have a master's. So what do they do for their own people? They use length of service. So he's been lecturing, he's been teaching for 20 years. So after 20 years, automatically, because of 20 years of teaching, they make him an associate professor. Meanwhile, you have a PhD. So you realize that once you come into university, your module leader, the one that is your direct line, is an associate professor but doesn't have a PhD. Here you are a lecturer. You see a senior lecturer and an associate professor without PhD, and he's the one telling you what to teach. And you can't fault him because you went to study PhD. He went to study a certification that is called HEA, Higher Education Academy. So he's a senior fellow of Higher Education Academy. That's why you see in the UK, you see Dr. So-and-so, you see FHEA, SFHEA. You see that FHEA fellow, Higher Education Academy, is equally as important as your PhD, if not more important. So if you don't have that, they don't rate you so high as an academic. That means you don't even understand what their higher education philosophy is all about. So you see someone who has first degree, or you say it's an SFHEA, senior fellow, higher education academy, and has been lecturing for 20 years. So automatically he's a professor and he doesn't have PhD. So you have to understand that. And it's not just in the academic. That is how it is in virtually all sectors. For example, now, from secondary school, why is it that most British students don't go to university? From secondary school, once you are in your final year, all the big companies will come to your school. The KPMG of this world, the Accenture of this world, the banks of this world, even British police, all of them, and they will ask you to come and join them. They call it internship. So you go and do 2 years of internship with them. Within those 2 years, they teach you all you need to. Because look, British people are not interested in degrees. They're interested in that this is Lloyd's Bank. Do you understand our operation? So we can as well bring you in from secondary school and train you for 2 years. Meanwhile, within those 2 years that guy is doing that training, he's been made to write 13 certifications. So the African will go to the university. By the time the African is finishing first degree and second degree, he has spent like 5 years in the university. Within those 5 years, the British guy has become a middle-level manager. So it will not interest you that the day you now go for a job interview, it is that same guy who did not go to university who will still interview you. Because they are not really interested in your degree. They're interested in what you know. Because the guy might not have a degree, but he has work experience, and you don't have that. And when we talk about work experience, they are very, very particular. It has to be a UK work experience. So it does not matter the work experience you have in Nigeria. And that's why one of the things we help people to do when they come in at first is to help them to rewrite their CVs. Because once you cannot write your CV, because in this country, it is CV that gets you a job. And I've been in a room where CVs are being selected before. It's an algorithm. That's why you submit your CV electronically. So there's a software. They are just looking for some keywords. Once they don't find those, so 90% of CVs are text rejected. That means they will even make it to the interview round where they will even look at it the second time. Because they just put everything in a software, and that software is looking for keywords. Once they don't find those keywords, it will even pick your CV. So those are the understanding. And the same thing also when it comes to any role, whether digital, it's still the same thing also. You can imagine also, look at doctors coming from Nigeria now. By the time you come here now, they want you to do PLAB 1, PLAB 2. So that is a way of also telling you that whatever you are bringing from Nigeria, it doesn't really matter to us. We must train you in our own way. You have to enter into our own system. It's like what happened to Daniel in Babylon. You have to learn the Chaldean literature and be taught the Chaldean language. So, I mean, that is how it works. So anyone that is coming, let me talk about the digital space, for example, now, because that is one area. And just like you said, Pastor Tolu, it does not matter what your background is. The beautiful thing about UK today is that in the digital space, it is a multidisciplinary approach. That's the beautiful thing about UK. So that means it doesn't matter what your background is. One sector, whether it is husband that is coming to study, wife is coming with him, or wife coming to study, husband coming with her. One area you can prepare yourself for to optimize and maximize your opportunities in the UK is to get digital certifications like data analysts, Scrum Master, product owner, DevOps, UI, UX. You see, these are the kind of job an average British student is not really, a British person is not really endowed. And if you look at Africa, especially Nigeria, the truth is that Nigerians are already digitally ahead of an average British. What we know digitally, they don't really know it. So as a Nigerian, you're already set up, to optimize, and because it's multidisciplinary. For example, now let me talk about project management, for example. In the UK today now, and all over the world, nobody's doing the traditional project management again. So Prince 2 and PMP, those things are not really what is state of the art now. What is state of the art now is called Agile. So Agile project management, I'm sure for those who understand it, they know what I mean by Agile. So it's a framework. So that allows you to train as a Scrum Master, a product owner, or a business analyst. And those are the job lines replacing the traditional project manager. So that means you're a project manager in a digital environment. So that's what's called a product owner. And for that, you don't even need to understand Java, HTML, MySQL, all those high-tech computer programming that is always making people afraid of anything that is tech. Because now it's multidisciplinary. So your background can be psychology. As a psychologist, you can be trained as a Scrum Master. Because 2 years ago, we had over 1 million deficit of digital roles in the UK. You know the meaning of that, Pastor Tolu? They advertised 1 million roles. They didn't have people to fill them.
Wow.
And if you look at, you can go on LinkedIn as I'm talking now. Anybody can do that. Because that's another thing about preparing for UK. You have to do a lot of personal research. Don't rely on agents. A lot of people, they just rely exclusively on agent. Google is your friend.
Yeah.
Google, you can Google it now. That you can Google 10 highest paid jobs in the UK. You will find Scrum Master there. You'll find product owner there. So you're now going to research who is a Scrum Master? What exactly do they do? Software testing. You see, these are the kind of jobs that Indians have come to understand. That is why Indians are making headway in this country, because Indians and Asians generally, they understand the system. But most Africans don't understand the system. Like, for example, so even if your wife is the one coming to study, if your wife is coming to study and you are the husband, and it's sure that you are coming with her, before you leave Nigeria, start writing your certifications. Not just writing your certification. That certification is the first way to go. Number 2, Start getting e-work experience. There are companies in the UK, you sign up with while you are still in Nigeria, you're already working with them here. And they allow you to put it on your CV. Don't forget, outside of UK work experience, it does not matter the work experience you have in Nigeria, especially in areas where they already have British people who understand. The only time they will allow you to come with your Nigerian work experience is if they have an area where they can't find any British to fill in that role. So of course they won't mind, but the British people are already doing some of those things. They won't. So what they want is for you to be able to justify that. And the way you can be able to justify that is that, let's say somebody is coming by September now. By March, 6 months before that time, start writing your certification. That means if you want to train as a, and like I said, multidisciplinary, don't forget that. So it doesn't matter what, even if it's Yoruba, you study. Even if you study philosophy, psychology, I mean, forget it. For as long as you're a graduate and you have gone through the Nigerian education system, you're already brilliant. Because Nigeria's system, I will say it in Yoruba, and I will interpret it as Adani Loro Fagbara Koni. You know, if you go through the Nigerian system, you have been trained. It's an empowering system because it is a client with significant gaps and you know and a lot of twists and bends. So if you can survive it, you can survive anywhere. We have significant gaps and voids, you know, institutional challenges, you know. So if anybody can survive, where there's no light, where there's no water, where you have to believe God for everything, burn your own fuel, you now come into a place where you can't even remember what it means that they take light, because there's nothing like they take light, or there's no water, you know, all those things. So the Nigerian system sufficiently prepared you, you know, to understand and to be able to survive everywhere. So if you are coming 6 months before you come, start your preparation. Whether it's wife that is coming or husband, because why that is important is that to be able to live well in the UK, you need to earn big. And to earn big, where the money is in the digital business ecosystem. Any role that is digitally defined is the role to go after. And just go on LinkedIn. As I'm talking, I've gone on LinkedIn, just type product owner. Anywhere in the UK, use UK as a site. As I'm talking to you now, Pastor Tolu, you will see nothing less than 1,000 roles. Look, you even see some of them, they just came out today, and you're like, who are the 1,000 people that will fill this role? So a guy that knows is going to come, or a family that knows, they'll be coming in September. So by now, if it's the husband that is coming, in fact, both of them, if it's a family, both husband and wife, should first of all look, okay, because in UK, it's also very important you build a career path. It's not the kind of country that you do this job, you do that job. It is a country that once you lock into a career path, follow that path on and begin to rise. That is how it works. So husband and wife, first of all, tell yourself, which digital role are we seeking? Use LinkedIn as guide. Go to LinkedIn, okay, or you can Google the highest paid jobs within the digital business ecosystem in the UK. Because UK is undergoing digital transformation, and that is why the country is looking for digital roles. So once you make up your mind, let's say the husband says, I want to become a Scrum Master, or the wife says, I want to become a product owner. Start going for the training. At times, some of the trainings will cost you money. Get through the training. There are even people providing some of those trainings in Nigeria. That is a funny thing. I provide those trainings, but I do it for free. I just help people from time to time. You know, when people want to come, I just be like, let me tell you how this works. And I'm like, okay, let me just put you through, you know, like one-on-one, just, I mean, that is the teacher in me, just wanting to help people. Yeah. So after you now get the training, get what is called e-work experience. You can be in your house now. Most of these platforms offer you jobs. And the way it works, Pastor, is that these e-work platforms, they are going through real projects. It's just like as a pastor in Global Harvest now. Whatever is happening in Global Harvest, you are now training people online. So they are really staff, but it's just that they are virtual. They are not there physical because they assign you to teams. So that you see, because in interviews in the UK, every interview in the UK is competency-based. So that means in interview, they don't really ask you too much. They just say, okay, if you find yourself in this scenario as a Scrum Master, what will you do? They'll just throw it at you. And if you don't have the work experience, you start stammering. And once you start stammering in interviews in the UK, just know that you won't get the job. So once you start stammering, so plan, just find out that route that suits you, start working towards it, get the work experience, write the certification, so that once you land in the UK and you have the physical address, change your CV, let it have a UK phone number, UK home address, and start applying for jobs with your certifications and with your work experience. In between one to 2 weeks, you will get a job, and it will be a high-paying job. You can test it. Somebody says Scrum Master. It's not Scrum. It's Scrum. SC. Yeah, Scrum. Somebody has corrected. Scrum Master. So I think what I'm going to do for Pastor Tolu is that after this telecast, I'm going to send you one of the trainings I've done, so that people can experience that training and have an idea, because the training will explain to you everything about the digital ecosystem in the UK. And you can now see what UK is all about digitally and how to come in. So because you can't come in and say, I'm a banker in Nigeria. That doesn't get you a banking job there.
I wanted to
the only
say
way
that.
you get into bank here is to first of all train in an aspect of banking they are looking for, which is a digital banker. So, because that's what they don't have there. So once you now come in as a product owner or as a digital project manager, you now see banks looking for that. That is how you come in. So they are bringing, it is after you now come in, maybe you now see something they are doing wrong in the core banking. And by the time they now see that you have expertise in that, before you know it, they start giving you greater roles. But you need to first of all understand that entry point is not your Nigeria experience. Entry point is not your university degree. Entry point is your certification and e-work experience.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. So for me, it looks like it's more important that you find out what they want, what they need, what their requirements are.
Exactly.
Not
what you want. Not what you want. Because it's a different country. It's a different country. And like I said, I've given you a lot of expos now. Go on LinkedIn. I can do this exercise yourself. Just go. You will see that it is what, and that is how you also write your CV. You see how you write CV in this country. It is the very word they use in the job requirement. You cut and paste and now write your own experience in the light of it and send it back to them as CV. So when you're coming to work in the UK, you can't have one CV. In Nigeria, you have one CV, and that is the one you send everywhere. Anybody that is looking at anybody that's gotten a job in this country, at least you need between 5 and 10 CVs. So you write each CV specifically for the job you are applying for. So you can't just have one CV you send everywhere. It has to be many CVs.
Interesting. Very interesting. All right. Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. I wanted to ask, is the study visa the only option available to relocate to the UK?
No, there's work visa, like I said. I said the study route and the work route.
The work visa.
Because the work route is also there. I'm for you to come and work. For you to come, like doctors come in, nurses come in, those ones.
Yes. So
then any of that, like of late now, most of Nigerians that came in here came in because they are data analysts. So there was a time they were looking for data analysts, and anybody, like for example, a lot of Nigerians came in here because they understand Power BI, SQL, all those very difficult data things that they don't, Python, and some of those things. Nigerians who understand them are getting jobs every day in the UK. So those ones is called Tier 2 visa. And the other route is called student visa, which used to be called Tier 4. But it's no longer Tier 4 now, it's called student visa. So you have the work visa, which is Tier 2, and of course you have the student visa.
Okay, that's awesome. So please let me just remind us again, if you have questions, please go on YouTube and send your questions there. We put the link up on this page right now, or you can just simply look for Relocating Right. Okay, so Pastor Dele, what's most advisable? Let's talk about family right now. The applicant moves first, or the entire family relocates together?
Well, in most cases, it's better for the father to come first, the applicant. If the applicant is the mother, it's also good for her to come first. And the reason is very, very simple. getting accommodation in the UK is not like getting accommodation in Ibadan, where you have the money and you can get the house. You know the way we get accommodation in Nigeria. This country is a process-based country. Like, for example, if I'm, Pastor Tolu, you know, if I'm in Nigeria now and I enter Lagos tomorrow and I have 10 million naira, before the day ends, I'll get a 3-bedroom flat anywhere because I have the money. But it's not like that here. Here, everything is process-based. There's something they call background check here, which they call referencing. So the only way I can explain it to a Nigerian is to call it background check. So if you want to get accommodation here, they must reference you. And if they cannot reference you, they won't want to give you accommodation. And referencing, they are looking at 2 things principally. Number one, that you have rented before in the UK and you did not miss out on your rent payment. Because here you are just coming to their country, they don't know who you are. So they are and that is why it is very, very difficult. For students, if you want to stay in student accommodation, you can arrive now. Even as a matter of fact, from Nigeria, if you want to stay in student accommodation before you even come in, you can get an accommodation. Students hostel, you don't even have any issue. But families, is not, there's no university that is offering family accommodation. Family accommodation, you have to go to town yourself. You understand? So, and that is where the challenge is. They don't know you. And here you are now, you are coming, you say you want to rent a 3-bedroom house. An average 3-bed house in the UK is between £900 and £1,300 per month. So here you are coming from Nigeria. You don't have a job here. So they are looking at you because part of your referencing is your employment status. They have to know how much you are earning. Like Nigeria now, landlords don't even ask you. I can't even remember renting a house in Nigeria and they ask me how much I'm earning. For as long as you have the money, landlords in it. But in the UK, it's not like that. So part of the references are even your employer will have to fill a form for you to tell the agent how much you are earning. So most houses, we have something on them to say anybody that wants to rent this house must earn between 36,000 and 42,000 pounds per annum. They will state it there as part of the condition. Here you are. Let's even say if you convert the money to Naira, you are earning even much more in Nigeria. The problem with them in the UK is that they don't trust your Nigerian bank statement. So you cannot give them your Nigerian bank statement. They won't take it. I mean, it doesn't mean anything to them. And you can't tell them, guys, I'm a millionaire in Nigeria. This is chicken chain for me in Nigeria. They don't understand what you are saying. You see a lot of Nigerians, some of my friends are, some of my friends here are bank managers in Nigeria, big boys in Nigeria with houses in Ikoyi, Banana, and they'll come there. They'll be like 1,300 pounds in a month. Say that is chicken change. I can even give you 40,000 pounds cash now. They're looking at you. You see, in Nigeria, those things can move you, but those things won't move a British person. Because that will even make them to suspect you the more that, look, how do you have that kind of money? So that is why it's always good for the applicant to come first, especially if it is family. Because, Pastor Tolu, I'm telling you, I've had a case in the last 1 year to go and bail out a lot of families. People will come, family of 5, father, mother, 3 children, they will now come here, they will now become stranded. It's not that they don't have the money, they have the money, but they can't get accommodation. And some also will come check into hotels thinking they will only spend 1 week there. We have people now who have been in hotel now for 3 months. And you can imagine paying £100 every night. So at the end of the day, it's not really worth it. Or those who will come also, because this is another mistake people make, Pastor Tolu. They will come and say, oh, my auntie in London said we can stay with her. Let me tell you something about British people. Number one, many of them have never experienced 5 people coming to stay with them. But because they are your family, they will ask you to come. But I can assure you 90% of the time, after 5 days, they'll begin to show you signs that you are not welcome. Because we are inconveniencing them. And don't forget, houses here are not as big as houses in Nigeria. They're just shogolas. Some rooms, once you stand up from your bed, you're already entering the bedroom. Okay? Unlike Nigeria, where we have all these. So many of them cannot. Look at a family recent now. The friend said, oh, come. They are even in Leicester here. Come and stay with us. And that's why I advise people not to do that. So when they came, they thought they would get accommodation immediately. And frankly, I mean, they were looking for this accommodation, but it wasn't forthcoming. So after like 2 weeks, you know what the friend told them? He said, now we've given you 2 weeks to stay with us. You can't get accommodation within 2 weeks. So the room where you are staying now, we have to start renting it to you.
Wow.
These are friends, though. Serious friends from Nigeria, not be say. Then after another 2 weeks, when those ones couldn't get a job, they just said, you have to start paying for your bills. You have to start paying for light and water. Then after like 1 month, they just told them, they said, look, we can't accommodate you again. You will not believe that it was midnight, they threw them out. They just said, look, we can't do this. And when I went to intervene, I just realized it wasn't that those guys were bad. They were just overwhelmed. Because unlike Nigeria, as I told you, my last house in Nigeria, where I was staying in Nigeria, I mean, I was living in a 5-bed house. We have 5 toilets. You've been to our house before, and 2-room BQ with. Now in the UK, you see a 3-bedroom house, it's just 1 toilet and bedroom. You see a 4-bed house, it's just 1 toilet and bedroom.
Yeah.
That means everybody, and the toilet is outside. The room is not ensuite. So everybody will have to go and bath. So somebody's using the toilet, somebody's knocking and saying, be fast, you know. And a family of 5, they were managing that. You will now come from Nigeria with another 4 people to come and join that party. So you will imagine, and that's why we usually tell people, let the applicant come first. Please study the terrain, get to know the terrain, because it's easy for you alone, if you come alone, to check into an Airbnb or check into a student accommodation. Most student accommodations will allow you to pay for 3 months. So don't underestimate the timing. It's going to the requirement of timing in terms of looking for accommodation in the UK. On the average, it takes people between 1 month and 2 months to get accommodation. So if you come alone, you can quickly lodge into a student accommodation, maybe pay for 2 months, pay for 3 months, and trust God that within those 2-3 months, you can start your study. And at the same time, because you're on grant, because the way it works here is that they can call you at 7 p.m. to come and view a house. So you can't just say, we're not around. You just have to be around. Because if you are not around, you miss the opportunity. Because before you get a house in this country, you have to first of all view the house. So that's why we always advise, let the applicant come first. Study the terrain, so that by the time your family is now coming, you understand. Because by the time all of you total strangers, 6 people who don't even understand the terrain, but by the time one is like a forerunner, at least that one will have some initial understanding of the system, knows where to do, where to buy this, where to get this. And by the time the rest of you are coming, I mean, accommodation is ready. Because that was what I did in my own time. I had to come first. And until when I got accommodation, I sorted everything out. That's when I had the family to come. So it's always good to do that, because there's no rush, because you don't now want to come and now get stranded. And that happens to a lot of people here. Or mess relationships over the years because they ask you to come and stay, thinking it will be 2 weeks. After 2 weeks, you can't get accommodation. Here they are now, they can't throw you out, but at the same time, they don't want you to stay. So they will now start giving you signs that, you know, start getting edgy, started getting moody, all in a bit to just tell you that, look, you are overwhelming us. Yeah, that is not to say that some people also, nice families, they might say, okay, no problem. But those ones are outliers. Most people, after 2 weeks, their countenance has changed. And you don't want to put yourself. So my candid opinion would be, let somebody come first and sort things out and bring the rest of the team.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor. So what's the process of enrolling kids in school so that people can just know ahead? Is it free? Some people think it's free. And then what's the difference between the public and private in the UK?
In the UK, schools are absolutely free, primary and secondary. So they are not really paying anything. Of course, there are private schools. There are private schools where you pay. But generally, most schools are free. And when we say schools, at least comparatively, an average public school here is better than most, maybe the best of what can call the best private schools in Nigeria. You understand what I mean? So don't look at it with that high of public schools in Nigeria. No. Public schools there.
Public nationally means government owned.
Yes, only very few private schools in Nigeria. Maybe the extreme ones in Lagos can beat the public schools there in terms of everything. I mean, if you go to some public secondary schools here, I mean, government owned, that's the best way to put them. Even universities in Nigeria cannot stand them in terms of infrastructure. So I don't want people to just have that mindset that when they say public schools there, they're just looking at it with one Igbo Olonye grammar school or Imale Falafia High School. No, it's not like that here. It's the schools are well regulated here, and the government. I mean, before you can set up a school here, it's not just that. And these schools are owned by government, but they are solid schools, solid infrastructure. You can imagine many of our friends here, you come in, the first day your children are entering school, they give all of them tabs. I mean, these are, Apple tabs, Samsung tabs, first day in school. I mean, every student to his own computer, all sorts of things that you cannot, I remember the first time I entered my daughter's classroom, I was like, what? In my mind, I'm like, this is a secondary school. Because principally, they won't even allow you to enter as parents. You just drop them and go. But whenever they have open house, so they allow you to enter. And you just enter and you feel like as if you are in the best university in Nigeria. Meanwhile, this is just a secondary school. Wow. So the process is this. Once you come in, it is the council that allocates people to school here. So the way it works is that if you are coming in, once you get in, you register with your local council. That's like local government. They call them councils there. So let's say Pastor Tolu and Pastor, and the family they are coming in now, Pastor Femi and Pastor Tolu. So once you come in, you register with your council, you register the family. Then based on the age in this country, let me also prepare the minds of parents there. The class where the child will be is a function of their date of birth, not their age.
Yeah.
So that means a child can be born September 26th, because the cutoff point is September 30. Another child born October 1st. The one that is born September 25 will be a year ahead of the one born October 1st, the same year. Because the cutoff point is September. Then it does not matter. For most parents in Nigeria, whenever they bring their children here, in most cases, they lose 2 years. In most cases. Because our education is too fast in Nigeria, in the sense that most people start primary school at 5 in Nigeria. In the UK, you can't start primary school until you are 6. And it's 6 years of primary school. So in the UK, by the time a child is entering first year in secondary school, it must be 12. Meanwhile, in Nigeria, you have 12-year-old who are already in SS1.
It's.
So what here, you cannot manipulate it. That's why date of birth is everything in this country. You see that everywhere you turn in this country, date of birth is deliberate. Date of birth is everything. So that means once they know your date of birth, your child, they will put them in the right class, and you cannot do anything about it. So parents, get ready. Some of you, your children in SS3, once they get there, they're going to put them in year 9. But the beautiful thing again there, Pastor Tolu, is that their own secondary school is not 6 years like our own, it is 5 years. So their own schooling system is years 1 to 11. Not like our own that is 6 years of primary, 6 years of secondary, which is 1 to 12. So therefore, if they put a child in year 9, it's as equivalent as if he loses a year, the right class. And of course, also forget, by the time they get to university, university pretty much has 3 years. So all the years that they seemingly are losing, they are still going to gain it back.
Still gain it back.
They're still going to get. So it is a council. So the council will look. So once you register with the council, there's a part of the registration that is called school placement. So you will request for school placement. It is parents that do that. It's a form. It's a website. You don't even need to bother yourself. It's like Facebook. You just put the name of the children, their date of birth, and your email. And within 2 weeks, the council will send you a mail, and they will tell you the school where they put. They won't allow you to choose the schools. You have 3 choices. So that's another job parents need to do. Once you know the area where you want to come, the city, start searching the schools there. But it is also very, very important that in this country, everything is attached to your postcode. That's your home address. Your children cannot go to school outside of your postcode. So if you live in, let's say you live in Leicester and your postcode is LA1 something, something. That means it is within that LA1 region where your children can go to school. Because that is your local council area. So if you already know where you're going, and that is why you could see the issue now, Pastor Tolu.
Yes, sir.
Some people come with their children, and in 3 months, those children are not still in school. You know why? They don't have a home address. Because once you don't have a home address, you cannot request for school. Because the rule here in the UK is that the children must be put in a school that is closest to their home. Because in this country, they expect children to walk to school and walk back home. That's another thing. It is a walking school. There's no prestige here. It's in Nigeria, when you are driving children to school, that is prestige. Here, wake up in the morning, you see children going to school by themselves. It is only very young children people take to school here. Once they get to like middle level primary school, early secondary school, they go to school by themselves. They return home by themselves. So that is why the council wants the school to be as close as possible to the house. And that is why I'm saying about accommodation. And if you don't have the house address, they won't allocate your children to school. So you must first of all get accommodation, because so it is a partnership between the council and the parents, and that's how they allocate the children into school. But they will allow you to give them your choices. And the way it works is that if you don't, let's say I say X school, my first choice, X1 school, second choice, X2, my third choice. If there's no placement in X1, they will automatically put the child in X2. If there's no placement in X2, they will. And what determines placement is that in every school in the UK, there is a fixed number of students that must be in a class, and they won't stretch it for anybody. Do you get me? They won't stretch it for anybody. So if your child wants to enter a particular class now in a school of your choice, and that class is already full, they will just put that child on what is called a waiting list. And that waiting list, the child can be number 25 on that list. That means there are 24 other people trying to get into that class. So, but the beautiful thing about the country is also it's a very dynamic country. They can go on holiday now. Before they return next time, 5 students have left that class. So automatically, 5 on the waiting list will just automatically be given a placement there. But if there is a place there, it will allow them to come in immediately. So that is how a school for
that works. Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. I want to just quickly, so we have some questions coming in from.
All right.
I wanted us to quickly look at it. Okay, so there's somebody who's asking if it's not, since we are advising that it's best that the applicant goes first. So this person is saying she hopes it's not going to be difficult for the dependents to join.
No. In the UK is a family-centric community. In fact, one of the best ways to guarantee that they will give the rest of the family visa is the fact that they're giving the applicant who is a family person. They don't separate families in this country. They don't like it. So once they give the husband automatically, except it is strange for them not to give the wife, except the wife must have committed fraud or something. In fact, that guarantees that they will give the husband, and vice versa. If they give the husband, it's guaranteed that they will give the wife. And also, not just even give, the fact that the wife is already there, is already here, has already paved way for the husband to come. So that is even one of the best ways to get in, is for somebody to get first, because they won't now be able to deny the rest of you. They will have to give them.
Wow, awesome. So somebody also asked that, are there free A-level schools too? Since
yes, there are. In the UK, let me also put it there. The best time to bring your children in is before they are 18. Because once they turn 18, they can't be your dependent again. Once you are able to get them in before they are 18, A level is free too.
Okay. That's awesome.
So it's better to bring them in their early teen years, at least between 13 and 16. That is the best bet, so that they can go to secondary school for free, and they can also do their A levels for free.
Okay. All right. So somebody is asking us, are there scholarships in the UK for students looking to transfer?
Well, you see, scholarship is a personal endeavor. It is you that will have to start searching. There are, but nobody can tell you this scholarship or that scholarship. Who is your friend? So if you want to transfer, because there are all kinds of scholarships, so you have to keep on searching and keep on applying. And once you get, you are good. No, because once you get scholarship and you're able to show it, nobody can deny you visa.
Okay, thank you so much, Pastor. So then this person is asking, medical graduates in Nigeria, how can he fit into the UK system?
You have to do PLAB. So there's an exam they call PLAB, PLAB 1 and PLAB 2. And you start preparing. You can ask colleagues who are here or friends who are also planning. So every medical person in Nigeria is expected to do PLAB. So PLAB is a conversion exam that will allow you to practice in the UK. So they do it here in Manchester. So people come in, and it's something you have to pay for also and apply for a visa to come, because they won't allow you to do the exam outside of, I think there was a time they were doing it in Ghana, but now they do it in Manchester. So people come here to do it. So that is the best way for a doctor that wants to practice in the UK. You have to do the exam. The name of the exam is called PLAB.
Okay. Thank you, sir. Please, can you tell us about studying social work in the UK and also working while studying it?
Yes, I mean, it's like every student in the UK is entitled to 20 hours of work per week. 20 hours every week, but during the holidays, unlimited. So there's something they call term time. That is when school is in session. In the UK, it's called term time. So during term time, every student can do 20 hours per week. But after term time, during the holidays, you can even do 100 hours. Nobody's going to stop you if you like. So most students are always looking forward to holiday time where they can work. But don't also forget, in this country, no matter how much you intend to work, they'll still put a peg on it. It's called tax. At a particular threshold, working more hours doesn't make sense because the bulk of your work will be taxed. So you can see that it's a very efficient system. So you will not come up one day and now say, I've earned 60,000 in a month. Even if you earn 60,000, it's not like you realize that maybe up to 45,000 out of it is tax. Because they tax you progressively based on what you are earning. So at some point, you just want to do fewer hours, lower your tax, and be able to clock in a lot of hours and you are working for government because they will tax you.
Wow. Pastor Dele, please, let's go through this again. Let's go back again. Yes. So are you saying that the applicants, while schooling, will also pay tax?
Yes, while schooling, if there's something they call 1275L in the UK, that's a tax code. You're only exempted if what you are earning is below £12,750 per annum. That's what they call 1275. That's 12,750. If you earn less than 12,750 per annum, it is tax-free. If you're a student, let's say you are earning at the end of the day 20,000 or 24,000. Maybe you are really working hard and you are clocking in 2,000 every month. And at the end of the day, your 20 hours, which is 80 hours in a month, is fetching you 2,000 every month. Out of the 24,000, 12,500 is tax-free. Anything above the 12,500, you pay tax.
Wow.
Do you understand? And yes, that tax is progressive. So the more you earn, the higher the tax. So at times it's better to earn I'm just using an example. It's better to earn £2,000 and pay a tax of 500 than to, because if you earn £2,000 and your tax is 500, I'm just as an example, you will still go with 1,500 than to earn £4,000 and your tax is 2,500. At the end of the day, you and the person that is just doing 20 hours and you are doing 40 hours, you are still going to go with the same 1.5, even though you are earning more. But because tax is progressive, the other guy is paying 500, you are paying 1,500. So at the end of the day, both of you are still going on with 1,500, even though you are earning more. So is it not better to just do you understand? So that is how they regulate, and that is why it's an egalitarian society. They don't want you to be richer because you are working hard. Because they know people, some people come and say, man, I can do 100 hours. Let me even do 1,000 hours. Oh man, we not even sleep. Here they value work-life balance. In fact, most works here, and most works in the UK will tell you point blank that you cannot do more than 37 hours per week. They will tell you, in fact, the minimum you can do, 95% of work in the UK is between 37 hours per week to 40 hours per week. You hardly see any work in this country that is more than 40 hours per week. But however, all these labor jobs that students do, like warehouse, like care job, social job, like all those things, where is hourly pay? So people just want to come here and they're like, man, during the holiday, I will build a house in Ibadan. Man, 100 hours. You just realize that you collect your pay slip. And imagine 60% of your pay is tax. You will cry like a baby. Because you have worked so hard. But taxing is progressive. They will tax you heavily. So you will learn the next time that, let me just do my 40 hours. And just, what is 500 they are taking? It's okay. Now for me to work so hard, and 65% of my income is now taxed. So, Pastor Tolu, where that pays you is, if you now really want to work hard, is that imagine somebody now earning 120,000 naira per month.
Okay.
Even if they tax you heavily, what you are still picking is still worth it. If you are not doing all those high-paying jobs, if it's just a regular job, it's better you work fewer hours and pay normal tax than for you to work and you are just donating your tax to government, your salary to government in form of tax. So that is important. You can work, but again, when you come to UK, try not to do more than the 20 hours. There are consequences during time. Of course, during the holidays, you are allowed. But that is for the applicant. The dependent can work any hours. It's not, the dependent is not regulated. It's only the applicant that is regulated. So it is the one who is a student that can do 20 hours. If the wife is a student, the wife can do 20 hours a week, but the husband can do as many hours as he wants to do. It's not regulated in any way. You can even start a business. Once you are not a student, you can even start a business, you are allowed. And to start a business in this country, you can register a business within 24 hours. You can register a business within 5 minutes in this country. Within 10 minutes, and you have all your credentials and you can go and open your bank account and you're operating your business. So even if you want to come and do business here, it's allowed for as long as you are not a student. Only students are not allowed to do business. As a student, you can't do business, but you can work 20 hours. And if you do more than the 20 hours, eventually they will know. And if they know, they can cancel your visa.
Wow. So beware. That's very important, because sometimes people think that they can get away with things like we do in Nigeria.
No. Yeah. And let me tell you, Pastor Tolu, how they get many people, which is whenever they are now applying for their post-study visa. Whenever you want to apply for a post-study visa, they will ask you to bring all your pay slips. Once they see your pay slip, they already and they start seeing strange figures. They already know you have done more than 20 hours, and that's how they catch people.
Interesting. All right, Pastor. So somebody says, what is the cost to relocate as a student and the process?
The cost is it an individual relocating or a family?
I think this was an individual.
Okay, let me deal with both. Let me first of all deal with an individual. An individual, the process is that you first of all have to find the school, apply to the school. So there's the admission side where you have to find the school, find the course you want to study and apply. An average master's program in the UK is between 12,000 and 15,000 pounds per annum. So if you are coming to do masters, you already know at least you do 18 months. So that's like 15,000, maybe add another 7,000 to it. That's already giving you like 22,000 pounds. An average living cost in the UK per month for an average student, single student, you should be looking at living costs. Accommodation for a single student is an average of between 400 and 500 pounds per month. Accommodation. Then living costs, eating, feeding, internet, telephone, you know, those, maybe you should be looking at another 200, 250. So 650 pounds per month is enough for an average student. For a family, you have to multiply by the number of people. And of course, not directly multiplication. You can't, like if it's a family of 5 now, you can't use times 5. Maybe you can use like times 3. Because, for example, now accommodation is one for all of you. So it's not, you are going to be staying together in the same house. You are going to be feeding together. So you can't do it accommodation per head. So that's why I said the conversion multiplier cannot be the exact number. It will be something lower because there are some common bills you are going to have. Like, for example, if you all live in the same house, your water bill is the same, your electricity, it's not that you're going to pay it as individual. Your internet is the same, you know, so it's not that each of you will have to pay for internet. So that reduces the cost at that level. So, and of course, after you get the admission, there's something that is called CAS that the university will issue. CAS, it means confirmation of acceptance of study. It is now CAS and other documents you are going to take to the embassy to apply for your visa. 3 things are very, very important when you're applying for a visa. CAS. Without CAS, you cannot even get a visa. So CAS is the officially, the university is telling you they are ready to sponsor you because it is your university that is sponsoring your visa to the UK if you are coming through the student route. If you are coming through the work route, it is your employer that is sponsoring your visa to the UK. So the university is the one saying, we are bringing this guy from Nigeria to come and study here. And it's on the strength of that, UK Home Office is now granting you visa. Because, so the official confirmation that that university is ready to sponsor you is called CAS. So once they issue your CAS, then you now go, of course, to the UK Embassy website in Nigeria and fill the form. And there's now another amount that you need to pay. It's called IHS, International Health Surcharge. So that is your health insurance. So depending on the number of years you want to stay in the UK, they'll multiply you by the length of your visa. So if you are given a 2-year visa, you're going to pay 2 years IHS. And per person, they charge IHS per head. So if you're a family of 5, you have to pay it per head. And IHS per person is about $500. They charge it in dollars. So if you're a family of 3, now that's an extra $1,500 already. So on the average, for an individual, you should be looking, if you multiply this, so for an individual, let's quickly calculate is 50, and you are expected to put 9 months of, let's just say 10 months of the cost in an account. Let's just say that's 6,500, your school fees, let's say 15,000, and IHS, let's say another 1,000. So maybe you are looking at between 25 and 30,000 pounds. 30,000 pounds. And if you multiply that by 9, and the thing about the process is that if once you apply, that money must be in an account in your name for between 28 and 30 days, and you must not touch it. And don't also forget, most schools will demand that before they issue you CAS, you have to pay 50% of the school fees. So if your school fees is 15,000, most UK schools will ask you to pay 7,500. So the balance, which is the remaining 7,500, plus your living costs, and plus a little on top of that, a little extra, will constitute what you're going to put in an account for 30 days. And you must not touch that money. So you now print out your bank statement with your cash, with your IHS receipts. Those are the things, and other documents are specified by the UK Visa and Immigration that you now take to the biometric center to go and do your biometrics, in Ikeja or VI, or if you're in Abuja. And that is how you do it. So that's how it is. And the fact that the school gives you an admission is not a guarantee that you get a visa. School's admission and getting visa, they are two. Getting visa is a different kettle of fish. You must meet a requirement. And 3 things they are looking for that requirement. Number 1, you must have cash. It is called PBS. PBS means point-based system. What is a point-based system? Everyone listen to this. A point-based system is that your previous immigration history will not affect the visa decision. Whether you have been denied UK visa 1 million times, or whether you have gone to London 1 million times, it won't count. That's the meaning of point-based system. So those of you who have been denied before, don't let it even bother you. It's not going to affect you at all. The only time it's going to affect you if you were denied based on falsehood. Let's say previously you were denied because you lied about your age or lied about something that they now denied you. And please, whenever you're also filling your form, if they ask you whether you have been denied before, be honest. Once you lie again, they will buy you, they will give you 10 years back. So, and again, be honest about it. If you have been denied before, or they ask you whether you have been denied US or Canada, don't lie. They have a back end where they exchange information. Please make sure you tell the truth, because you have been denied before doesn't count against you. So there's no reason to lie. Point-based system. In that system, you have to score 70 points. How do you score the 70 points? Your CAS is already 50. The fact that you are issued CAS is already 50 over 70. The fact that you can speak English, you went to an English-speaking school and you can demonstrate English, IELTS, TOEFL or SAT, whatever they ask you to do, is 10 out of the 70. So I mean, that gives you 60, right? Then your proof of fund, the fact that you have enough money in your account to prove that you can survive for the next 9 months, is another 10. So you cannot score more than 70, you cannot score less than 70. Once you score 70, you are granted the visa. If you score less than 70, you won't be given the visa. That is a point-based system. So they are not, the fact that you have been denied, they are not even looking at that. Does this guy have CAS? Yes, 50 out of 70. Can he speak English? Has he demonstrated English speaking? Another 10. Does he have enough fund? Another 10. That is how you get your visa.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor. This person is asking that her son, being a project manager, learns under Google via Coursera. Is that certification enough, or he still needs to get a PMP certification?
Well, instead of getting a PMP certification, I will advise our parents to allow the child to get an Agile certification, because that is the new project management certification. So instead of PMP, or maybe I'll still do PMP, because why Coursera is not as powerful as PMP or Prince 2. In the UK, let me also say this, they don't really use PMP, they use Prince 2. PMP is Project Management Professional. It's more applicable to America and Canada. In the UK, they use Prince 2. Prince 2 is the acronym. Prince there, it means Project in Controlled Environment. Prince is an acronym. Project, P-R-I in N in C controlled E environment. So UK is more of Prince 2. America is more of PMP. So it's better to do Prince 2 instead, or Agile Prince 2. Because in UK now, they've now created an hybrid where they now want people to do both.
Okay. So somebody says, is it compulsory to study the same course you had in BSc?
It's not compulsory. Most people don't even do that. And they're not going to question that. So when you're having your credibility interview, because don't also forget now to go to school in the UK now. Those who came through the pandemic escaped to the credibility interview. They used to do it before. But because during the pandemic, they were short-staffed, they canceled it, but they started doing it back now. So it is for every applicant now. They randomly select, maybe 5 out of every 10. They will select you and they will ask you. And one of the things they're going to ask you is that you studied microbiology in UI. Why do you want to study MBA? Why you? So you must be able to explain. And the best way to explain it is that yes, you study microbiology and you have started working with that and blah, blah, blah. But you now feel you need a career shift. Or if you are working somewhere, I just also said that you're a middle-level manager now. You are going in for a promotion and you want to go and empower yourself. So by the time you return, and when you're having that credibility interview, always tell them you are returning, even if you are not returning. Because once you allow them to get a win that you are not returning, they will deny you visa. They want to hear that you have plans to return to your country. So make returning to your country part of the plan. It is very, very important. Because they will ask you questions to suggest, to make you to say you are not returning. Please don't fall into their hand. Just say, yeah, you are doing this, or you hope after you get the MBA, you will now return to Nigeria so that you can now seek higher roles and you can now, you have to talk about it. It's very, very important.
Wow. Okay, so but most people who are traveling actually hope to stay back. Actually, it feels like this.
That is it, Pastor Tolu. But don't let them know you are going to stay back. Keep your powders dry, because once they know, once you say it, they won't give you the visa.
Wow.
So please don't say it. Okay. Under any circumstances, don't say it. They will want. In fact, that's one of the reasons why they do the interview, to put you on the spot so that you will say it. But don't say I mean, and of course, as a pastor, I'm not also telling you to lie, but use wisdom. So in order not to lie, don't say anything about it. And if they ask you what is your plan, just look for a plan that fits into maybe something you still want to come and do in Nigeria in 10 years' time. But don't say 10 years' time. Just say, look, with this degree, this is what you can do in Nigeria. But that doesn't mean you are coming to do it. So just craft your language in a manner that you are not lying, but at the same time, you don't allow them to box you, so that you don't now say with your own mouth that you are not returning to your country. Because if you say that, game over.
Thank you, sir. How do people now get their permanent residence after this program? What's the plan?
To get a permanent residence, I think is now between 5 and 7 years. So once you're able to school and get a job, it will start counting towards your PR. So I think once you're able to spend 5 years there, to be able to get your PR, permanent residence, and if you spend another 2-3 years crime-free after that, you'll get your indefinite leave to remain. That means you can, indefinite leave to remain PR. Then another 2-3 years after that, you'll be able to get a British citizenship.
Okay, so but what you have initially is a 2 years visa.
Yeah, and that is called residence permit.
Okay, that study visa.
What they give is not called study visa, it's called residence permit. That's what they give to all the students. Okay. So you have your residence permit. Then from residence permit, you move to permanent residence.
Okay, permanent residence.
And from permanent residence, you move to passport owner.
Okay. All right, sir. This person says, I have master's. I'm presently doing a PhD in Nigeria. How can I get a teaching job in a secondary school or university?
The best way to get that is to attend the HEA, Higher Education Academy, and you don't have to leave Nigeria. You can approach HEA. Especially if you have been studying, if you have been teaching in Nigeria, tell them you have the plan to come and study in the UK. So HEA will give you an opportunity. So you can start or do your PG certification, PG, postgraduate certificate in education, PGCE, from any of the UK universities. And you can do it virtually. And before you come, it's as valid. Like I did my MBA virtually. I did my MBA on my desk in Lagos. I did my MBA here in the UK, but I didn't have to enter a physical class. I did my MBA virtually, and it's my MBA result I used for my PhD, admission. So I didn't have to come here. I did my MBA at University of South Wales, and I'm doing my PhD now in Leicester.
Okay. So can both parents apply as working applicants?
What is working applicant? What do they mean by that?
I guess what the person is trying to say is that rather than coming through the study,
No. The way it works is that once they give someone, like if an husband should apply for work permit now and they give him, automatically the wife and the family, the whole family is included.
Okay, all right. So
the visa is for you and your dependents.
Yes, that's awesome. So let's talk about, so somebody said, can somebody with a PhD in Nigeria get fully funded scholarship in the UK?
Yes, definitely. Like I said, Google is your friend. Start looking for it yourself. Because it's amazing how many scholarships are hidden there that only you, by searching every day, can figure them out. So go to Google it, then go to different universities, see the scholar. Because let me tell you how free PhD scholarship works in the UK. A lot of universities here are interested in a particular research area, and it's fully funded. They call it fully funded research. That means any student that can express interest and get admission into that particular, because they get grants. Maybe some of them got a grant from government about maybe stem cell, biology, one of these funny areas in physics, in chemistry. So they're just looking for a student who is interested in carrying out that research. And because it's a grant, they want to bring you in and they give you, you won't pay tuition, they will also give you stipends. Many of them come with as much as tax-free £2,000 every month.
Wow, interesting. Thank you so much. So revealing and very, very informative tonight. Somebody is saying, can she, he's registered dental therapist here in Nigeria and wants to be able to practice after, okay, will I be able to practice in US after the examination in the UK? No, we're not talking about the US here right now.
I'm not sure whether US also, they have their own plans. Even if you study in the UK, if you want to go and practice medicine in the US, you still have to subject yourself to their system. All these countries have their own regulations.
Don't worry, one of these days, in the next like a month, we'll have somebody from the US also who will be able to answer the questions like Pastor Dele is doing right now. Okay, so I can't even believe that we've spent this much time. Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. But I wanted to ask this one that I wrote myself. That how do I choose the city to live in the UK? Is it because I know that what people do is that they throw in the net. So whichever school and apply to so many schools. Do we have to think about the city that we want to live in?
Pastor Tony, like I said, I'll first of all answer those who have the household of faith.
Yeah.
Be led. Be led. I said that at the beginning. But however, if you have persuasion otherwise, we have other persuasions who also exclude you. What you look at also is how expensive the city is, because at the end of the day, you're going to pay house rent. Like London, for most students, is a no-go area. Because the same house you get in Leicester for 1,000 per month, in London, it can be as much as 2,500 per month.
Wow.
So you want to try to minimize your costs. So it's always better to school in some of these, some of these other cities. And let me tell you something about UK. As I told you, all the years of when I started traveling to UK, donkey years ago, I will always go to London alone. My family will come here, we always go to London. Because I did not know there was life outside of London until one day I got an invitation to go and minister in Manchester. I was like, there's no difference between this place and London. Then I went to Birmingham. Then I went to Coventry. Then I went to Exeter. Then I went to Cambridge. Then I went to Scotland, went to Aberdeen. I went to Wales. I went to Glasgow. Sorry, I wanted to say Glasgow, not Aberdeen. UK cities are the same. Look, UK is not like Nigeria that if you are not in Lagos, Abuja, or Port Harcourt, or Ibadan, if you are in Ado Ekiti or you know, in Ekiti or Ekiti, it's like you are excluded. UK is not like that. UK is like US. Everywhere is developed. There is nothing you can get in London, you can't get in Leicester. There's nothing you can get in London, you can't get in Coventry. All the stores are the same. The city, the way they are built, the traffic system, the buildings, the code is the same. So at the end of the day, why go? London, you see, London is overrated. And it's just because over the years, people just think UK is London.
Yeah, honestly.
It is when you get out of London, you realize that number one, life is better and life is cheaper. And there's nothing you want to get in London. And that's why you see, even those who live in London, whenever they're going for holiday, they want to go to Leicester, they want to go to Coventry, they want to go to Birmingham. They are looking for an opportunity to get out of London. So therefore, it's always wise to go and study in a university where everything is cheap so that you don't burn your fingers and you don't use your entire earning to pay bills. London, not really. But and you see, Pastor Tolu, the funny thing is that you can do it yourself now. Go and do a study of 50 best universities in the UK. Realize that 90% of them are not in London. So we start from Oxford, Manchester, you see Warwick. Warwick is a Coventry here. Even Coventry University is like number 30 or about. You see Lancaster, you see all these very powerful schools. You realize that 90% of them are not even in London. So why go to a place that's expensive when you can as well go? Look at Warwick. Warwick is one of the best universities here, and it's just around us here. It's just very close to Coventry there. You know, Loughborough is there. So, and these are very good universities, highly rated than most universities in London. So, number one, the ratings of the university is very, very important. Then, number two, just make sure you don't, overspend, so that you can, go. So, choose the cities based on your costs, based on the rating of the university, and based on living costs. Very important.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. Somebody said, I'm about to finish my PhD in energy economics at the University of Ibadan. What career options are available to me or for me in the UK?
Did the guy say energy economics? My brother, please start applying to lecture in UK universities. I can assure you there's a place for you. Those are the kind of things that are needed here. And they're really, really, UK universities are bringing in academics from Nigeria. I have a friend that they just poached from, he even came in from Olabisi Onabanjo University.
Wow.
And he's there. He's in Dundee, Scotland, and was poached from there. I have another friend also who came in from there. So they're like energy economics now. That is a very great, so I also want to find out what the PhD research for that individual is, because that is a very great area. So, what you need to do is to start looking for, so go to job.ac.uk. That is where you get university jobs in the UK. It's called jobs.ac.uk. So start applying to universities there. It will amaze you that just do your CV very well, show your research area, show the papers you have published, conferences you have attended, your pedagogical qualities, put, those things there. And of course, it's always also good for you to have had, teaching experience, because they are very big on teaching experience. And even if you don't have, if your area is a unique area that particular school is looking for, imagine somebody doing energy economics that you should begin to look at schools like schools in Aberdeen, in Scotland, most of those schools that are right around the oil and gas places there, because that is the oil-rich region of the United Kingdom. So University of Aberdeen, and so just start applying. And I can assure you in no time, you start getting offers for interview. And just do well in those interviews. Here you are, you're on your way to the UK.
Hey, awesome. So we have just a few moments. We're finishing by 10.
Let me also say this, Pastor Tolu, please take your time. I'm here so that we can maximize our mind.
Oh, really? Wow.
No, I'm not in a hurry. I want to just be a blessing.
Oh, thank you. Thank you so much, sir. Before I go to somebody's question here, let me ask this one. So If I have children below 5 years, what should I prepare for? How can they be well taken care of if both the husband and wife would have to work or maybe be in school?
One of you will have to take care of the children. Because here in this country, they don't joke with childcare, and you don't want them to come for your child. That'll be too much, because if they do, you might not see them again. I mean, that's how brutal the system can be. So what happens is that what most parents do, if they are coming like that, is they come as a group. Or once you come in here, befriend people who are also having the same situation, having younger children. Usually your timetables will not be the same. So for example, if you're in faculty of business and law now, you can befriend somebody in the faculty of engineering, So whenever you are going to class, you can leave your child, so there's a lot of social network also and support structure that people do through churches, through colleagues who just have a WhatsApp group. So they assign each other, okay, you are the one that will take care of our children on Monday. So everybody will go to work, leave their children with a particular one. She will take care of them. Then the Tuesday. So, so that is how you survive. But for a child, any child between 2 and 5, they allow you to do 3 hours of schooling every day. But it could be funny. Imagine you take your child to school by 8, and by 11, you have to, and they are very strict in this country. By 11, you have to go and take them. In fact, there are some ages. Their first 2 weeks, they even allow 1 hour. Imagine 1 hour, they will say, bring them at 8 o'clock and go and pick them at 9. So if you don't have all these support structures, it might be difficult. So don't do the journey alone. Have friends, have support structures, join churches, settle in. I mean, join WhatsApp group of your class. All of you talk about it as a group. Okay, how can we take care of it? And before you know it, you realize that like some ladies do in our faculty, I mean, they take care, they just rotate it. And that's how they are able to. Because they won't allow a child to start school effectively until they are 6, no matter how much you try. So, I mean, 6 is a cutoff period. They have to be 6.
Wow. Okay. So do I automatically have access to healthcare for me and my family, even as a
yes, once you pay your IHS, that is what IHS is all about.
Okay.
So IHS is going to be paid by it. That is your health insurance. And once you pay your IHS, even if you have a thing, just go to they call it surgery. So what we call primary health care in Nigeria is called surgery here. So once you arrive, based on, that's why I say house address is everything. Your surgery or your primary health care, the one you are going to be allocated to is the closest one to your house. So whenever you need Medicare, like my Pastor Maria and I, we've done our comprehensive health check, comprehensive, as in they check everything and it's free. Well, it's not really free. We have paid our IHS. So once you pay your IHS, you can assess healthcare. And if it's serious and they have to take you to the hospital, nobody's going to pay you. They're not going to pay a dime for any level of healthcare.
Wow. Does that also cover the cost of a delivery?
Yeah, delivery and everything, yes. In fact, once you deliver and you have, because what the IHS does is that they will now give you what is called NHS number. So once you have an NHS number, you're good to go. We still have a sister that delivered last week. They just check into hospital, you deliver. And even after you deliver, they will be sending nurses to your house every week to come and help you to take care of the baby, and it's free.
Okay. So somebody says that his wife is pregnant, as in like obviously pregnant. Would they be allowed into the UK?
Yeah, they will be allowed. People still came in. The sister that came in, I said, gave birth last week. She was already in her 3rd trimester by the time she came.
Wow. Okay.
And we have another sister also. In fact, I was the one that went to welcome another one. I said, who came in? And 2 weeks after she came in was when she had the baby. So it's allowed.
That baby wanted to be a Tokumbo, right?
Yes, it's allowed. It's allowed.
Okay, so let me see. Now, how can people adjust to their new life? I think those are some of the things that actually even really matter to me on this channel. Now, how can people adjust to their new life of no domestic help? Some people have been used to having house help, their driver, they have.
Is that not my story too? I mean, imagine, not only did I have drivers, I mean, in all the time, from the first day we started living in Lagos, we always had a driver. We had a cook, and we had protocol, a whole protocol team from church helping us to do things at home, boys at home, girls at home. And you now come to the UK, you're on your own. So the first adjustment is firstly mental adjustment, to just know that this is a country where they don't know any big man. You can't do big man here. I mean, for all I care, Pastor Tolu, you'll be in the train. I mean, I'm going from Leicester to London or London to Leicester in the train. You see multi-billionaires entering. The other day, I'm not sure whether you saw that image of the Prime Minister running to catch a train.
Yeah.
That is UK for you. So there's no big man in Nigeria. That's why we do all those big man, is because here, you cannot even, there's only extremely rich Nigerians, and you have to be in the billionaire grade, can afford to pay for house help here. Because paying for house help here is not like paying for house help in Nigeria. Every domestic staff you have must be insured. Nothing must happen to, and it's not their salary that is the issue, it's the insurance. Because you have to do life insurance for all of them. Your driver must have life insurance. That means you pay premium every month for that person working with you and driving you. His life must be insured. Because in the course of driving you, nothing must happen to him. So by the time you look at all that, so number one, mental adjustment, knowing that it's a different country. Then number two, self-reliance. So what do? Husband, you can't do Nigerian daddy here.
Thank you.
That means you don't, I mean, you expect your wife to go to school and come and cook for you. Please. Only if you are 45 years old, when you come to UK, you cook yourself. So don't come and do that Nigerianization. Nigerian daddy.
You can't kill your wife.
You can't kill your wife, especially if your wife is working. Because work is serious there. So that means as husband too, once in a while, get ready to roll up the sleeve, to prepare lunch, breakfast, and dinner for the family. That is how to show love in the UK. Especially if you are the student and your wife is the one working. If your wife is working and you are the student, because as a student, you have more time. Because you can only do 20 hours, so your wife possibly can be doing 40 hours. So you can't expect her to come back at 5. And she's not the one making a mala for you. Please, Oga, if you are hungry before your wife comes back home, make food for yourself and for her. Let her come also and eat food. Those are part of the adjustment. So don't do that Nigerian family here. Then again, raising children.
Thank you, sir.
I must tell you, maybe that's another purpose to do. We didn't need to talk about. Raising children here is different from raising children in Nigeria. Number one, you cannot beat them. If you beat them and they say it in school, council will visit your house because they consider that abuse here. So therefore, the best you can do in this country is to scold them, or you can't shout, because the schooling system is so wired that they ask them. Every school, they have a counselor, and especially when they see that those children are Africans, and they know how we can, so while they are talking to the children in school, they will use style to ask them. When they ask our children, they came back home to tell us, they will use style. Hey, they will look as if they are playing with you. Your dad, does it beat you? And a child goes, my dad used to beat me very well. Once they say that, they will come for you. And you don't want them to come for you. Because the next thing they are going to begin to discuss is how they're going to take that child from you. You don't want to go through that. So please, and if you have teenage children, you have to trust God how to deal with them, because there's liberty in this country. As parents, there's a limit to which you can tell them what to do. So before you come, train them in the way of the Lord.
Yes, sir.
One of the things we're enjoying here is that our children, they were already established in the way of the Lord before they came here. So it's easy to deal with them, because peer pressure is very real here. That is, your 15-year-old is going to school, and in these schools, an average classmate is lesbian, is homosexual, An average classmate smokes already, whether private school or government school. An average classmate doesn't even go to church. He doesn't send God because the parents have never been to church since he was born. So, and they have their values, you know, they bring in all kinds of things. And so raising teenage children, and here they have access to phones, they have access to internet 24/7. Even if you try to prevent them at home and you want to get interested in where they check, what if when they're in school? Would you allow them to, you know, kind of a thing where they have access? And even if you check their phone and you want to see where they go on the phone, how about the system in school where you do not have access? You know, so parents have work to do. You just have to change your style of parenting. That autocratic shout, scream, and threatening kind of parenting cannot work in the UK. Because even your teenage child can go and report you. You are just a phone call away from the police. Your 15-year-old daughter can call police and say you are harassing him or her, and they will come for you. So you have to understand that it's a different system. So what do you do? Number one, as parents, humble yourself. Just know that these children are grown now. Use wisdom to deal with them. No threatening, no shouting. Make them to be subject to you without using force, and that is wisdom. Make them to understand that you have their best interest at heart. And when they are young, you can't be beating them and be shouting at them the way you do in Nigeria. Because once they report you, you won't like the consequences.
Wow. Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. So you have to work on your parenting skills if you haven't done that. And if you're a believer, you're blessed, because then you can just know that putting them in the way of the Lord. I mean, I know Pastor Dele's family very well. I know the girls, I know the guy. They're very good children. I'm just grateful to the Lord for that. So it will take some time to invest in them and do all of the right things that he's just talked about now. So still talking about marriage, how can couples ensure that their marriage is secure, you know, as it seems like so many things can be a threat, you know, to homes abroad?
Pastor Tolu, so many things are threats to homes everywhere.
Yes.
At home and abroad. The circumstances are not different. Sincerely, it's the same. If I've realized working with maybe more than 600 couples there, 600 families there, 600 individuals there, people are not different in the way they treat their spouses, whether here or in Nigeria. So just make up your mind to be better. So UK, the existential threats in the UK is not different from the threats in Nigeria. It's the same. So if a man is faithful to his wife, he will be faithful to his wife here. If a man is not faithful to his wife in Nigeria,
he will not be.
Here we even give you opportunity to be unfaithful the more. Because the society.
So that's where I'm going to.
Yes. But so it is whoever you are in Nigeria, you're going to be.
That's who you'll be.
That's who you'll be. Yeah. It's not that this place offers it. So this place is an enhancer. If you're a good guy, to enhance you to be better. If you're a bad guy, it will also enhance you to be worse.
Wow. Interesting. So one of the things that people are not prepared for is the culture shock. The cultural shock of, you know, in Nigeria, a lot of times we're very communal. Even though I know those things are gradually changing, you know, the Western culture is creeping in to us here, where we mind our business, our fences are high, and you live with your neighbor. But then it's still relatively okay because you have church life, you go for Owambe, you know, you still see your old students association, but now you're in a new community where even that your so-called best friend, it's not so easy to see that person. So
doesn't have time for you.
Don't have time, yeah. So I mean, I just wanted you to mention a little bit about that, because I think that some people find that a little unbearable for the first, especially if they're communal people, as in like, hey, as in they must have friends, they must go to somebody's house, they must have people around,
Thank you. That's a very wonderful question. Social capital, social networks, very, very important here. And number one, if there is none, form one.
Wow.
Because you might come in and possibly there's none that is readily available. Like when I came in, I was the one that formed my own social network. Okay. And that was how I started helping others. I didn't wait to look for they want to join. I just said, 2 or 3 of us are friends already talking. Let's form a group. Let's start bringing others. Okay, what are the needs? Let's start talking about it. And before you know it, people started joining us. And before you know it, in no time, we were over 200. Wow. So if you don't have one, then number 2, don't expect your friend here to be close to you once you come here, especially if your timelines don't align. And it's not that they are bad, but it's just that here people don't have time for people. So don't take it personal when people don't have time for you here. That is how the system is structured. So because in no time also, once you settle into the system, after 2-3 years, you realize that those who come from Nigeria to you might not have time for them also. So don't take it personal. Now, my friend is not picking my call. My friend is, because here at work, it is sin for you to pick your phone at work. In Nigeria, we take phone. In the UK, they might even deduct from your salary. There are some jobs until you close, you can't even put on your phones. So you have to understand all the dynamics. So once there's no social networks and you have friends around, and the best people to form social networks with as fellow students, people in the same church. Church is important. In fact, church is one of the greatest social network and social capital, providers in the UK. So, one of the greatest providers. Church is very, very important. So you could make sure you form social networks around churches. So I'll just advise people to settle into local churches. Churches are very supportive here. And of course, student body, you are in faculty of business and not join the student group, have friends, your class group. And before you know it, you won't even really miss your friend who is in London, because you realize that at the end of the day, you have new friends. And that is how the Asians excel in this country. They form communities, but Nigerians will be doing big boys. You want to do solo runs. Let me tell you, coming to UK, if you do solo runs, you will miss out. You cannot do this journey all by yourself. And those who have done solo runs, most of them are regretting it. So the best bet is to go with others.
Thank you very much, sir. Wow. So carrying a couple. Yeah. Okay, so to my non-Yoruba speaking audience, basically it means that it pays you better when you work together, not doing solo runs. Yeah, so I wasn't going to talk about this yet, but now that we are there, I want us to talk about it, sir, because I realize that sometimes believers get to the UK and they're no longer interested in things of the spirit. They're no longer interested in going to church, not deliberately initially. Maybe sometimes the time just doesn't seem like it's available. They think so. They want to take their Sunday to rest, having used up the week and all of that. How does a believer in Nigeria, who's been on fire for the Lord, how does he keep that fire? Because I think people need to hear that even before they get into that system.
Yeah, that's a very wonderful question, Pastor Lu. In fact, on the contrary, people don't use Sunday to rest in this country. Most people work on Sundays. 70% of UK workers work on Sundays. Sunday is like any other day in the UK. It's not really made for church like it is in Africa. As a matter of fact, 90% of students in the UK work on Sundays. Especially those who are doing jobs on shifts, all those rotation shifts, they give you shift Sunday morning and you have to come. And that's why you hardly see in any UK church people going to church every Sunday. Maybe some people will do twice a week. Still twice a month. And some people will also do once a month because that is the only free Sunday that they have. So Sundays in the UK is not like Sundays in Nigeria. People work on Sunday. Most organizations work on Sundays. So it's not a rest day like it is in Nigeria. So people don't even really get to rest because they are working. In fact, a lot of students, in order to do their 20 hours, do Saturday and Sunday. That's what they do, 10 hours on Saturday. So they start working 7 a.m. and they work till 5 p.m. on Saturday. And they repeat the same thing on Sunday just to have their 20 hours. So that Monday to Friday, they don't work. they can face studies. So weekends is when most people work in the UK, including students and including Christians. A lot of people have found themselves in that dilemma. Because while they were in Nigeria, Pastor Tolu, it never crossed their minds that one day on a Sunday morning, I will be working. That concept defeated a lot of people here. And again, do you blame them? There are bills to pay, there are things to do. And most of these jobs, I mean, they give you a Sunday shift, you can't say no, because you already signed contract. It's whatever shift they give to you, and some other people only do weekends. So therefore, the best way to survive the system is like Daniel in Babylon. Don't forget, there was no single temple in Babylon.
Wow.
Daniel still maintained contacts. But thank God for virtual churches now. Virtual connections help. But like we usually tell people here, you can attend conferences virtually. You can be part of meetings virtually. But you cannot do church virtually. There's a missing element once church is restricted to you sitting in front of a screen. Wow. There are many things about church you are missing. If it's just, imagine us on the screen. Because you can be saying, oh, Pastor Tolu is preaching, but at the same time, 1 million and one other things. In fact, people can even be eating. They can even be on their bed. They can even be snoring, and they'll just put it on just to fulfill that religious order so that they can give their offering after. But there's something about being there in flesh and blood. I mean, that communion, that flesh and blood, where we all meet. So we can't rule that out. So you can get ready for that. So what I've just suggested is that some people will come in temporarily. Yes, you can. And that is why we're saying prepare before you come. Because if you get some of these high-paying roles, it is most of the lower-paying roles that compel people to work Saturdays and Sundays. 90% of the high-paying roles or middle-level paying roles don't work Saturdays and Sundays, just really Monday to Friday. So that is why you have to believe God. And if you're a believer, pray about it. If your conscience cannot bear working on Sunday morning, please don't venture into it. That's what I tell people. But if you can, but even if you do, don't stay there for too long. Just be there so that you can stabilize. And once you stabilize, get off that lane. Go to church.
Wow, that's awesome, sir. One of the things that I thought of in the course of the week, Pastor Daly, was thinking that there's certain people in certain cities or certain locations who have been around looking for churches, and they feel like, oh, I don't like what I'm seeing. I don't have similar experience with what I've had.
Yeah, the connection is not there.
Yeah. So what do they do? What should they do?
What you should do is that no matter what, don't ever use that as an excuse. Every church is local. And you cannot circumvent the concept of a local church. It doesn't matter. Maybe you have not searched enough. There will always be a church that will meet your need. See, God is faithful. When Paul was in Corinth, what was the message God gave to Paul? He said, don't be afraid. I have many people in this city.
Yeah.
There is no city where God doesn't have people. And that might also be a clarion call that maybe it is even you that will now start that fellowship.
Good. Thank you.
Instead of now saying, oh, I can't find my own. Why not start one? Start a fellowship in your house.
Awesome.
Instead of you now being the one looking for, why not be the one that expression you have enjoyed in Lagos, you have enjoyed in Ibadan, in Abuja, bring it to that city. So that in no time, start a Bible study every Friday. I mean, before you know it, it grows to become something bigger. I mean, because when I came, that was what I started doing. I said, let's pray, let's do Bible study. Let's pray, let's do Bible study. I mean, before you know it. So
God.
As a child of God, once you are going around and you can't find what ministers to you, that means you are the minister.
Yes. That's it. Oh, yes. Awesome. Glory to God. Thank you so much, Pastor Daly. Somebody's asking, how lucrative is pharmacy practice in the UK?
Any medical profession, nursing, medicine, pharmacy, they are very lucrative. So, I mean, it's just to do the right exams and get in. anything medical in the West, US, Canada, UK, they are very lucrative.
Okay. This question is about having a first degree in biochemistry, and he's trying to apply to study MSc biomedical science. He's saying, does it stand a chance to get sponsorship for tier 2 visa?
Well, if you want to come and study, that's automatically student visa. You can't do tier 2 for study. It is only when you get it. So that's another thing I need to explain to people. There's something that is called switching.
Okay.
If you are studying PhD, after your first year, once you do first year, it's supposed to be 3 years minimum. Most people do 4 years anyway. After your first year, you can switch your visa from student to tier 2 to work visa once you get a job. Same thing also for students. After 6, 7 months of doing your student visa, if you're able to get a job and the job is willing to sponsor you, UK government will switch your visa for you. So it's allowed. So you can come in as a student and end up as worker. They'll switch it for you. And once they switch it for you, that means you can continue your studentship as part-time and you now become a full-time worker. So that is also allowed.
Okay. All right. Thank you, sir. So somebody is asking a question about postdoctoral programs funded in the UK. Please, you may need to go through our through the what's it called, the last 2 hours. Pastor Dele has spoken extensively on that. Okay, let me see. Somebody said, is operation and supply chain management careers in the UK good? And what is because she works in a multinational organization in Nigeria, and she's wondering if it would really count as a tangible working. No, it will not.
It will count. No, it will count in the sense that if you can come into the UK, even if it is to just volunteer, volunteering is also something powerful in this country. And a similar organization, a similar NGO doing something similar to where you work in Nigeria, or better still coming here, there will be certifications for supply chain management in the UK and start doing it. So once you get your UK work experience, what that does to you is that it allows you to now rewrite your Nigeria experience in the light of your UK work experience.
Okay. So somebody is also asking that she's a single mom and she intends to travel with her child. How does that work?
It's allowed. There are many single moms here. That one is not a problem at all. The only thing is that they might demand for a consent from the father. They do at times, but at times they don't. But it's always good to have it ready, should in case because at times they might not even ask during the visa issuing process, but they might ask at the border force, UK border. And let me also say that is also very, very important. The fact that you are granted visa, whether student or any other kind of visa, doesn't mean automatically you will enter. Because a border force guy can still ask you a question and right there at the border, deny the visa. So don't also forget that is also very, very important. Like a lot of Nigerians were denied UK student visa during COVID. You know why, Pastor Tolu? They used fake COVID record. At least I know about 5 people that were denied, and it's automatic 10-year ban. There was even a woman, that was the one that paid me. She has sold everything in Nigeria.
Wow.
And bye-bye, they've done send forth for her. And she now went to do a fake COVID test certificate for herself and her children. And they discovered at the border force, and they sent them back to Nigeria the following morning and gave all of them 10-year ban and revoked their visa.
Wow.
You don't want to go through that. So that's why we're also saying that it's not just about, because you might, like that sister now, it's better to get that consent letter ready from the father of that child. Or maybe do an affidavit, at least have something official. So that even if they don't ask during the visa issuing process, if you go to the border force, if they ask, that might just be a reason to say you can't go in. So you also want to prepare. Please have it with you. It's very important.
Mm. Wow.
So that it doesn't look as if you are running away with the child.
That's very important. Very, very important. So Pastor Taylor, what investments should one be looking at going forward, like so in integrating into that system, having, so now you have your permanent residence and your
African, Nigerian food. Because a lot of Nigerians are pouring into the UK now. There is need for Nigeria. Let me tell you what is selling in the UK. Food, Nigerian food is very expensive here in terms of prepared food. Pastor Tolu, you know your regular Mr. Big's plate. A soup of that size, just 1 liter soup, £20. Convert £20 to naira. That's like 14,000 naira. Imagine.
Oh.
So people would do things. You will not believe another expensive things, Pastor Tolu. Yeah. Any lady that is coming to UK, once you know how to make hair, an average hair in this country is between 50 and 100 pounds to fix hair. Imagine you are able to do 10 in a week. That's Monday to Friday. So that's an average of 2, maybe do 2 in the morning, 2 in the evening. Even without leaving your house, you are raking in £2,000 tax-free. Because most of those jobs collect money. It's cash. You pay me, they pay them. So if a sister is interested in schooling and really making money, you see all those soft things, making clothes, making hair, cooking, if you can cook. Look, on our platform here, because most guys don't even have time, on our platform here, in the UK, most families buy their soups every week from a particular sister. In fact, she still came to my house today, doing us so great. Because at times you don't just have time to cook. And again, as families, you don't want to overwhelm your wife. Just, okay, let's order soups for the next 1 month. Just order this up or not. But those things come pricey. So those who do all those things. So if you want to do business, then of course, selling Nigerian food. Can establish a chain to bring pomo. But people are craving pomo like anything.
Really?
All those things.
Okay.
So if you can, so African store, especially if you are in a place, maybe a city where there's none, be the first to set it up. And you don't have to set it up in a shop. You can even set it up, start selling from your house. And until you're able to have money to open a shop, but make sure you pay your tax, stuff like that. Make sure you register a proper business. But things, because, look, in my university, by September, the vice chancellor told us that the number of Nigerian students is going to quadruple. That means, like never before, Nigerians are coming into the UK. The number of Nigerians coming to UK to come and study now, on the average, let me even check. Let me give you a figure. That's why I said Google is your friend. You can Google all this thing. I'm just going to Google it now. Number of Nigerian students, number of Nigerian admissions. Admissions. Sorry, admissions. UK. It says it has increased by 47%. Can you imagine? By 47%. 47%.
Wow.
And I'm even looking for the real number. It's so on the average now. Sorry, average number of Nigerian students. Students in the UK. Look, in 2021, it increased to 21,305.
Mm.
And in 2022, Business Day is reporting out that it has increased. In fact, Cable is saying UK record 125% increase. So you could see that it's it's serious. People are pouring in.
Mm.
And that is a whole lot for you. So anybody that, I mean, all these people are going to need food, they're going to need food, they're going to need whoever is going to make food to them. I mean, so look at now, on the average now, it's about 36,000 Nigerian students. And by this September, according to the statistics that is coming, this September is going to have almost 50,000 students coming from Nigeria. And that puts the number of students in the UK part-time from Nigeria at about 500,000. You can imagine that. I mean, so anywhere you find yourself, there will always be Nigerian student community there. I mean, number of international students, there are over 500,000 international students in the UK. And before you know it, out of the 500,000, Nigerians should be getting to like 100,000. And they are spread all over. So no matter, even if it's just 500 or 200 people you are serving, having 200 customers as Nigerian student that you are serving can increase your fortune in this country.
Praise God. That's awesome. Thank you for that revelation. I hope somebody is writing something.
Even Baba, somebody is talking about Baba, photographer. Yes. Those are the jobs. Yes. Imagine you can be Baba. Look, Pastor Tolu, I pay 15 pounds to barb every time I barb. I still barb on Friday. This year on my head, now this is 15 pounds.
Interesting.
And average, even low-level barbers in the UK is 10 pounds. Imagine you are using 7,000 to barb, 7,500. If it's in Nigeria now, we say, what to purge is too much. But in the UK, the minimum you get is 10 pounds. For me, my barber, because it's a beach, is 15 pounds. So I commit 15 pounds to barbing every week. You can imagine, 15 pounds. So if I have a Nigerian that can do that for me, I'd rather have him. Because when I was in Lagos, I didn't used to go to barbing salon. They used to come and barb me at home. So if I can have a Nigerian boy, now, even if it is me or 20 others, he's doing every week, just barbing us at home. So he can be raking 200 pounds every week, effortless, just barbing 10 people.
Okay. I like that. Okay, thank you so much, Pastor Dele. Somebody said, I studied English education at Taishilaran University. Do I have a chance to work in a school in the UK?
Yes, you do. Just go and do your PG certificate in education in a UK university, and you can do it online. Just get your PG cert E, PGCE. Once you're able to get that, then start applying to schools in the UK. You will see that. Because at times, all they just want to see, like I said, I said at the beginning, I said the only time your certificate counts if it's in education. So go do your PG certificate in education from any of the UK university. I think it's like 9 months. Do it virtually and start applying.
All right, we're almost done right now. So what are the prospects for environmentalists in the UK? This person has a BSc degree in geology and an MSc in environmental management. Okay,
I can see. I hope to do my PhD program in UK.
Yeah.
Let the person come and do PhD. The first, for you, just come in as a doctoral student. Then once you come in, start exploring other options.
Okay. This person, okay. Any chance for someone who has been deported from the UK based on visiting visa expired? Can this person reapply to come for a comeback?
Yes, you can. If the person is a family person, don't apply. Let your wife or your husband, your spouse apply. Because automatically it will cover you. Somebody still came to see me this afternoon. Those were the people I was meeting with when you called the other time.
Okay.
The husband overstayed because he had come before, so he had to leave. So how did they come in again? The wife applied, so the husband had to come with them. So because they don't like separating families.
That's good. That's very good. Somebody said, is money made by being an entrepreneur tax-free, like being a hairdresser or a barber?
It's not tax-free. It is only tax-free if you don't declare it. And of course, people do petty things here and there. And some people collect cash. Because in this country, one of the ways people avoid paying tax is to do their services in cash. You see a lot of Asians doing it. You go to their shops, even some of these baba, they'll tell you they don't take they don't take card payment, they want cash. And you know the reason. The reason is that there's no record for it.
Yeah.
It is tax. Because once your money enters into a system in this country, you have to pay tax. So people collect cash just to avoid tax.
Interesting. Okay, so the last question tonight, coming from the precious people who have joined tonight. This person says, becoming an actuary in the UK. I hope I pronounced that right. It says, how can we go about having a BSc statistics from the University of Ibadan?
I mean, how can we go about? Okay, how can we go about that? Having a BSc? Yes. Statistics is one of the things they are looking for in this country. If you have studied statistics in Nigeria, start doing your MySQL, data science, Power BI, data analytics, and those things. Once we're able to, because that's another area. So go online, go to LinkedIn and go and check data jobs, data analysts, data ops. They call them data ops. That means data operators. Any kind of thing. They are looking for Power BI, analysts, MySQL, you see, all Python, all those things. Once you have basic knowledge, UK will be looking for you. And I can assure you, if you can go through interviews and because data is everything in this country. And they are looking for data. And they know, they themselves know Africans and Indians are the ones that can do the job. They know. So they're always looking towards Nigeria. So if you can, from your statistics background, break into this digital statistical analysis, and you know the Power BI, the MySQL, and Python, and all those things, and you can show yourself a data up, I can assure you get a job.
Thank you, sir. I can see some hands raised on Zoom. I'm seeing Annex, your hand is raised. Somi, your hand is raised. So you can unmute yourself, Annex, if you, because I hope that was not a mistake, by the way. Annex, do you want to ask a question?
If you have a choice. Thank you.
Hello.
Hello, we can hear you.
Good evening, ma'am. My question has been answered. It has been answered, ma'am.
Okay,
thank you,
that's wonderful. Okay, all right then. All right then. How about Somi? Somi also raised his hand.
Okay. Good evening.
Good evening.
I don't know if you can hear me. Okay, so I joined in late, so I'm not sure if my question has been answered, but I'll just go ahead. I'm a graduate of economics, and I currently work with an investment management firm. So I'm looking at relocating via study route. So I have 2 schools already, picked that have the course I want to do for masters, and have the course content I want. So the issue I have is this. I narrowed down my search for schools to London, even if I ahead of the expense and all of that around London City. And the reason I did that was this. So I have a relative staying in London. So I'm thinking, the connection is something that can be leveraged on. Although I'm also looking at the possibility of, okay, so are there cities that, in planning for living expenses and all that, what cities close to the London should one consider, and the kind of living expense
well, you see, at times when people say London, we talk about London as if London is like Lagos. London is massive. So it also now depends on the side of London where you are. Because at times getting from East London to West London can take you over 2 hours or 3 hours or even 4 hours, even within London, because the traffic is there. And of course, the roads are not straightforward. So that is one factor. Then number 2, places around London where you can stay is just about the Midlands. And so, I mean, places like Leicester, Birmingham, I mean, no, not Birmingham, Leicester, Wolverhampton, sorry, Manchester, even Cambridge, Southampton, I know some of those places. So there are wonderful places all over London, because where you can stay, and especially if your school is around East London, places like Dagenham, place like, Hornchurch, Dartford, those areas. And of course, if it's West London, places like Slough, that's very close to London Heathrow, all those places are very close to West London. So you just have to, but sincerely, the interiors of England, and when I say the interior, the middle part, those places, they are the best places for students, and they are the ones that have the best universities. You can search it yourself. They are the ones that have because most universities in London, apart from giant schools like University of London and those Imperial College, all those establishments, Queen Mary, most of them are also struggling to stay in London because the overhead is just too much. So you can just see a whole university in just one building. So that you are not disappointed when you get there. Well, like, is this the whole university? But in some of these other places, they have land. You see universities as big as a local government in Nigeria. So that is, my advice is just be like, try and get out of London. Even if you to remain going to London every weekend to stay. And again, it's easier to get jobs in some of these places, depending on, especially student jobs. In London, tier 2 jobs, yes, for highly skilled jobs. Of course, you get highly paid, but your bills are also very high. So at the end of the day, it doesn't really matter what you earn. The bills will take everything out. And that's why most people are leaving London now. They are moving into the interiors. That is what is happening in the UK now. And it's also a deliberate UK government policy. What is the policy now? Government is trying to decongest London. So they want to make everywhere in the UK attractive so that you don't need to get to UK. So rapid urbanization is going on everywhere in the UK now so that you don't need to stay in London. So that would be my advice. And let me also quickly answer, there's a particular sister here that is talking about highly skilled job. Please, Pastor Tolu, if you can help me to read Sister Balogun Adeola, I would like to engage her because she's bringing a very good insight through her question, and I can quickly answer that. I think I want to make it a conversation. So if she can unmute and ask the question, because as a conversation, it will really help us, and a lot of people benefit from that question.
All right then. So Balogun, can you please, Adeola, please unmute yourself.
Hello, good evening.
Yeah, good evening, Deola.
Okay, so about the question, I took a training in business analysis a couple of months ago, and it was coupled with getting a work experience, a UK work experience, because it was emphasized that
of course
you actually need that in order to be able to get an attention if you're trying to get a job in the UK, which was it was the intention in the first place. It means to migrate via the skilled work visa. Business analysis is supposed to be on the occupation shortage based.
Yeah, it is. It is.
But then after the training and all of that, that was the reality why taking the training. But after the training, the reality is different in the sense that I realized the reception to people resident in Nigeria is very poor or barely non-existent.
You're right.
So you get more attention if you're resident in the UK. I have people who within a week of confirming that they will be leaving for the UK, they changed their address on their CV,
get a job immediately.
Address, and they got interviews immediately.
It's always like that.
So what's the hope for people who are still currently resident in Nigeria, whose means of migrating to the UK is the UK visa, the job, what's it called now?
Okay.
The work. visa, yeah.
Where are you working in Nigeria now? Where do you work?
Okay. Just starting the role as a customer success executive.
Okay. Because the truth is that you are ready for the UK, but what is creating this gap? I'm doing a gap analysis for you now. Is that you are still very much resident in Nigeria.
Yes.
And I'm a trained business analyst too, so I understand, your job very well to justify, to translate and communicate a business case. So what I'll just suggest is this. Are you single or married?
Currently single.
Okay, currently single.
Yeah.
Can you, with this, your wealth of experience now, the fact that you've gone through this, what I'll just suggest is that if you can come and do a master's, as it is now, you need to look for something to bring you into
to get me to the UK, exactly.
And once you get in, I can assure you, Adeola, once you, with this experience, so that place where you have gotten work experience, my advice is that don't stop, continue. If it's a paid platform, pay, just stay there, because it will show on your CV. So because once you get in, it will not matter whether you did the training from Nigeria. So someone like you now, even if you come in as a student, you can be sure within your first 3 months, you will get a job and you just switch. So you now get a permanent role and continue studying part-time. For someone like you, that is what will happen. You will switch immediately because you already have the experience and you realize that once you even put it on your LinkedIn, that's another thing about UK. 70% of the jobs you don't even apply, they look for you, and it's through your LinkedIn profile.
Yes, most of the open roles are available on LinkedIn.
It's LinkedIn. They just call you, and once they see your profile. So for you now, Diola, once you come in, what you just do is that by that time now you are coming in, maybe, I don't know how many months of experience you've had now. What is the length of experience you've had now in this business?
Well, that would be since August. So
August. So even if you come into UK by September, man, you already have over 1 year. 1 year work experience in the UK is gold. I can assure you, Deola, within 2 months of settling down, with 1 year work experience, the least job you get will pay you between 45 and 50,000 pounds per annum. That's it. And if it's daily rate, the minimum you get,
like 450,
like 450, 500 pounds per day. So that is it. With 1 year. So Deola, go and apply for a master's, come into the UK. The master's is just an avenue to bring you in. Once you come in, start applying for your job. You are in.
Okay. So, all right. So I guess the next question now would be getting an affordable master's program, because
Deola, the way you just said it now is the way you should go and Google it.
All right. I'll do that.
Because you will see some as cheap as £10,000 and some 11,000 pounds. And the average is between 10 and 15. 15 normal invest, but when it comes to all the Oxford, Cambridge of this world, those ones can charge 60,000.
Those are the Ivy Leagues.
Those are the Ivy Leagues.
So I saw something also. You mentioned something about the PGCE for people who have teaching experiences.
Yes.
And I saw a program, I think is Train to Teach in the UK.
Yes.
It's like a program going on. And so I saw an option whereby, okay, the popular one or the common one is the Train to Teach. But then it's almost as if you're trying to get a degree in the UK because the fee is around £11,000 to £15,000.
Yeah, because teaching trainings here in the UK
are like that. Although some of them come with bursaries.
Yeah, there's a lot to it.
Like math and physics come with £25,000 bursaries, but you still have to pay the fee. But then I also noticed while researching on that there are options whereby you could be paid to start teaching. While you're being trained, you will be teaching.
Yes,
and you get paid.
It is possible. Like that's a normal thing in the UK. A lot of PhD students also lecture and they are being paid.
Yeah.
So it's normal in the UK because once you are given a teaching role, It doesn't matter what your status is, they'll still pay.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there are
But
even scholarships for
Diola,
people.
sorry to cut you, Diola. I will have to cut you now, Diola, please,
All right.
because other people have to be attended to.
All
Okay,
right.
Pastor Tolu, what you can do for Deola is that after now, Deola can call. Because I really want to spend time with Deola. You know why? I'm in a field because I'm also a business analyst, a scrum master, and a product.
Okay, sir.
She needs
So
my
reach out
special
to me.
attention.
Okay.
So how do I call him, please? How do I do that?
Just reach out to me. Reach
Just
out to me.
Pastor Tolu. Pastor Tolu will connect.
Just you can check
Thank
me on
you.
Facebook or
Pastor Tolu
Instagram.
will connect us.
All
Yes.
right.
Yeah, thank you
Thank
so
you
much,
very much.
Pastor Daly. Thank you
Yeah.
so much. And then somebody is writing here for you, Diola. Check University of Lincoln.
Lincoln, Debbie,
Debbie,
Hall,
Hall. Yeah.
Costa,
So please check
GCU,
that.
Active Metropolitan. Yeah.
Yeah. All right then. So David is asking that he wants to relocate with work visa without having a job offer from the UK. What's the likely cost of relocating without that?
You can't relocate with work visa without having a job. What gives you the work visa is the job in the UK. So it's to first of all get a job. That is how it is.
Wow, thank you so much, Pastor Dele. I think we'll call it a day at this
It's been
point.
2.5 hours.
I'm telling you, Pastor Dele, I'm just I'm going to be bringing you back, Pastor Dele. I'm going to be bringing you back.
No problem.
By God's
Pastor
grace.
Tolu, trust me, I had a great time because nothing gladdens my heart more than just helping people.
Yeah, thank you so much, sir. You're just so different. And I know how that a number of people have complained in time past that people usually don't like telling the processes through which they got to where they got to. And I'm like, no, we can't do this to ourselves, especially if we're believers. You should be able to help your sisters and your brothers. Okay, it's not going to hurt to do that. So thank you so much, Pastor Dele. I really, really celebrate you. I think I'm looking at one last one now before I leave. This person says that are there prospects for vet doctors in the UK?
Yes, there are. Just like medical doctors, just find out what the conversion exams are. Yeah. You know, they love animals like an average UK family has dogs, and they don't just have one. You cannot walk in this country without meeting people walking their dogs.
I'm telling you. So I don't know why this person says the information online says it's hard to become certified as a vet.
Well, it might be hard, but that doesn't mean
that it's impossible.
Even medicine too is hard because that lab exam, most doctors don't pass. I mean, a lot of doctors don't pass it. So it's very, things they are very technical because they want to, I mean, they are rigorous. They want to test your thoroughness. So it's not, I mean, you just have to be tough and thorough to be able to pass some of these professional exams.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor D. Well, we're privileged to have you here. Not just giving us all of this information, you're also a man of God. So I'd like for you to please just pray for everybody who joined tonight and call it a day. By the grace of God, we'll be bringing Pastor Dele back on this channel.
Yes, and before I pray, you can also join me on LinkedIn because that's another place where you get, that's how you begin to build your professional network. My LinkedIn name is Dele Oshumakinde. So just look for me there, send me, you know, a connection that we can.
You can please also follow him on Instagram.
On Instagram, on Facebook at Dele Oshumakinde.
All my
at Dele Oshumakinde.
Beautiful. Thank you, sir. Somebody was asking also about the church he pastors. It's the Envoy Nation and it's in Leicester.
Yeah. You know, churches, they operate as charity. So it's a charity. And so I myself, my wife and some of our friends, you know, started meeting for Bible study here. So we just teach the word and do our Bible study. And, but, you know, it's been something wonderful. There's also meeting needs here in the UK. So if you want to be part of us, let's know. I mean, we all volunteer to just take Bible study, and it's been a very wonderful one. All right, let's pray. Father, in the name of Jesus, we thank you for the grace of our Lord Jesus Christ. Thank you for all these wonderful people. Thank you because you have prepared something great for them. Thank you because of the thoughts we are thinking towards them, thoughts of good and not of evil, to give them a future and a hope. Lord, we pray that everyone will find the perfect connection and they will be established in the present truth and they will be established in the grace of God. And that they explore the possibility of traveling, of relocating. They will do it in faith, they will do it by your word, they will do it by your spirit, and you will grant unto them unusual favor and mercy.
Amen.
Thank you, Father. In
Thank
Jesus'
you,
name we pray.
Amen. Thank you so much, Pastor Dele. I really, really appreciate you, sir. Thank you so much. All of the precious people who have joined tonight, thank you so much for being a part of this. And I want you to know that you can still rewatch this on YouTube. Okay, we have the link up here. Please, you can check the YouTube page, Relocating Right. And I have good news also. Next week, Sunday, by the grace of God, it will be Canada. So today it's UK, next week, Sunday, by 8 p.m., it will be Canada. So I look forward to seeing those of you who have friends, or maybe it's just you, because I know that some people who are here yet to make up their minds. So if you want to check that out as well, just to be able to decide which you would like at the end of the day, or you have family friends who you know would like to relocate to Canada or are presently there, you know, the fact that where people are already living in those countries doesn't mean that they won't need one form of help or the other. You'll be shocked that there's certain people who've been living in countries for years and they have no idea of how the system runs and stuff.
Yeah, that's true.
You know, so I want to just encourage you, please let them know. There's some people that are very streetwise. That's how my husband and I like to call them. They understand how the system works such that you won't waste money. There's some people, they waste money. You don't know that there are other ways. I mean, legally, there are certain things that you don't have to spend money on, certain things that, I mean, not to try to circumvent anything, but anytime my sister is talking about it, she lives in the UK, she's been there for 30 years. And sometimes she's just trying to help people and say, look, you don't have to do that. You don't have to do that. You know, so I just want to encourage you to please keep your ears to the ground on this channel. We'll always ensure that we bring you, by the grace of God, people who will help you through this process so that you can enjoy living abroad. It won't look like you're being punished, if I can put it that way. You will have a beautiful time in that country of choice. Thank you so much, sir. People are saying thank you to you, Pastor. Everyone is saying thank you.
All right.
Yes,
thank you, everyone. Thanks for having me.
Have a beautiful night, sir. Everyone, thank you so much for joining. Don't forget, you can always subscribe to our YouTube channel so that you can get notifications. Thank you so much for joining. Thank you, everyone. Thank you so much. Thank you. God bless you. Thank you to my admin. God bless you, Jeannie. Work, Jeannie. God bless you. God bless you, Sheon. Thank you for your hard work. Thank you so much. Have a beautiful, beautiful night.